What's going on, everybody? My name is Timothy Cato III, and this is I Got More to Say. Today, I have local Rochester rapper, barber, businessman, and strongman, King Persona, also known as Paris, with me here. Today, we're going to be talking about his life, his career in music, and also he's going to be giving you tips about how to get yourself in shape. Enjoy. P.
Bless, King.
What's going on, King? How you doing?
Another day, man. Another day.
Look awfully swole over there, player.
Hey, you know how to guard, dude.
Nah, I feel you, P. How you feel today?
I'm right, man. I'm great. I never say good. I say great, man, because it's another day, man. To do better than I did yesterday, so.
That's a fact. You know, you actually taught me about that word great. Like, I remember one day I texted you, and I said good morning, and I asked you something, and you said great morning, Cato, and I'm like, great morning.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that got a ring to it. And ever since you said that, I rarely ever say good morning. I say great morning.
Great morning.
Yeah, I've been on that for like a week. So anytime I greet somebody, great morning.
Indeed,
Yeah.
for sure. Because, I mean, it helps on the other end, you know what I mean? When you speaking through them lines or them texts, for a person to hear great versus good, it's like...
And you say it to yourself. Yeah, because you're reading it. Great morning.
Indeed.
Yeah, not for a fact. Well, P, look, thank you so much for being here. I Got More to Say. You are one of the first artists that I've actually ever had.
Word?
Yes.
Okay.
If my memory recollects, like, you know, I always say people are artists in different ways.
Yes, sir.
But as far as like the music and, you know, what really the basis of the conversation is about, I think you're the first artist. And you're the first Rochester artist.
Yeah.
Actually.
That's dope.
Yeah. And actually, excuse me, my boy Franks was the first artist, but you the first one from here.
Indeed.
So, yeah.
That's dope.
But P, real quick, if you don't mind, please just tell the listeners who you are, a little bit about yourself, what it is that you do. You know, you're a man of many things.
Okay.
I like to give a platform for you to introduce yourself.
Indeed. My name is Paris.
Okay.
Paris Rufus. I was born and raised here in Rochester, New York. I'm OG, low key. Say that, you know what I mean? 80s baby.
There you go.
You know, I've been a barber in the Rochester area for about 22 years now. Many different shops, had my own as well, and just been pretty much invested in the community, you know. To be honest with you, I had my ins and my outs, you know what I mean? Hard times, ups, downs, you know. Moved around a lot as a child, so, you know, I know all sides of the city, you feel me? I just, you know, got to a point where I wanted to be a good representation, you know, of a man from Rochester, man, because, I mean, we go to different places, man, and we ain't got the best reps, but it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? So me being who I am, you know what I mean, I just tend to really try and spread that peace and positivity in this day and age, you know what I'm saying? We all had our rough times. We all was, you know what I mean, especially from my era, you know, a lot of guys was in the streets. The streets was the streets then, you know what I'm saying? It's different now, but, you know, other than that, man, just, you know what I'm saying, just basically embracing, you know, this part of my life here in Rochester versus how it was, you know, when I was younger. So, man, it's a lot going on, man, you know what I'm saying? The crime rate is crazy, you know, the kids growing up too fast, you know, it's just a lot of things that's missing that was going on when I was coming up, but, you know, as far as the artist part, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
I am an artist, man. I've been doing music since I was 12, so that's another thing. Like, that was a heavy investment, yo. Like, I done had like 6 different studio setups and, you know what I mean, went from, you know what I mean, the 5-button recorder in front of the karaoke machine. Like, yeah, that type of time.
It was real
like,
back then.
Yeah, or just the 5-button recorder and we rapping over other people. Like, literally rapping over other people to, you know, setups changing, you know what I mean, getting a computer, putting one together, you know what I mean? Go ahead, find a program, you know, if somebody had it or something like that, they might have gave it to me, Reason, Fruity Loops, you know, stuff like that back then. Pro Tools was big, but you really ain't had your hands on it. It was pretty steep in price, so, you know what I'm saying? Other than that, though, I really got into it real heavy when Cool Edit Pro came out. So that was like, you know what I mean, a way to get the music out there. CDs was big around that time, you know what I'm saying? So it was hand to hand, you know, whether you was getting $1 to $5, you know what I'm saying? I've been in the production and engineering ever since the start, man, you know what I'm saying? Been in and out a lot of different studios in the town as well, cross paths with a lot of guys from here, in and out. you know, in passing. I would say that, you know what I'm saying? So my face is well known in the city, though, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people know me. The ones who don't, it's no problem to get, you know, familiar either, you know what I mean? Because I'm pretty, you know, pretty
Very
cool,
approachable.
you know what I mean? Down-to-earth guy. But
The way we met is by you coming up having a conversation with me.
indeed.
Yeah,
So you already
so-
know. It's just, you know what I mean? Yeah. Now it's about that love, that peace, and that positivity, though.
Definitely not. That's what's up, P. And P, you also got, I mean, P, you can't sit up here built like Arnold Schwarzenegger, P.
Hey,
and-
man, hey, look, man. I'm definitely in that gym, man. So I would say I'm a gym king. I would say that. You know what I mean? I don't got no affiliation with these rats. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a gym king. I stay in there. I'm very dedicated to the gym, man. I'm in there every day if I could be. You know what I'm saying? I might take a day off here and there, but for the most part,
You in there.
I'm in there.
Yeah, dedicated.
I'm in there. That's the lab. That's the laboratory. Mad scientist activity going on over here. You feel me?
I got you, P. Well, P,
Yeah.
thank you for that introduction.
sure.
Paris, first thing you mentioned, first thing you did when you introduced yourself, you said, hey, I'm from Rochester. Paris, what was growing up in Rochester like during your era? Because your era was I've heard stories and all sorts of things. So what was it like from your perspective? Because as you said, you've been all throughout the town.
Right. It was fun though. Like I will be honest with you, it was fun in the beginning.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was very fun. Like we kind of briefly spoke on that on the way over here when I was saying like the neighborhoods. Like people knew, the neighbors knew you. You knew up and down certain neighborhoods. The neighbors knew you because of your parents knowing them, and you know everybody knew who their neighbors were. You know what I'm saying?
It was close in the air in Rochester.
Very. You know what I'm saying? So you could go down the street somewhere, somebody be calling your mom like, "Hey, I done seen him. This boy done jumped over my fence," or you know, they out there fighting. You need to go. You know, that type of stuff. But it was really like, I could say it was like a lot of hand-to-hand combat, you know what I'm saying? We learned slap boxing and box. We actually had little, you know, recreation centers and stuff like that. There's a lot of boxing programs back then. Pretty much football every day, you know what I mean? Basketball every day. In the street, it didn't matter where we was at. We was hooping or playing football, kickball, you know what I'm saying? We had a lot of different games we played, manhunt, hide and seek, you know, but we was outside, you know what I'm saying? And what they call outside now is not what we call outside. Like, we was the street light kids, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
Productivity.
all day.
All day.
From the time we got up, and we was at somebody's door knocking, hey, could Golden come outside? Could Jay come outside? You know what I'm saying? We was asking, you know what I'm saying? So these were, you know, the times where, like you said, close-knit family, whether it was or it wasn't, you was family, you know what I'm saying? If you was invited into somebody's home, you had to be a good kid. So that was going into, you know what I'm saying, too, just, you could walk everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't no harm being done to the kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody looked out for everybody, you know what I'm saying? So that was pretty good. It got rough, you know what I mean? I would say around like the early 90s, mid 90s. That's when the guns and all that stuff started really, you know, coming across the lines. It was rare that you would hear of a shooting, you know what I mean? Earlier on, it more like, you know, you hear somebody get stabbed and it was surprising. You like, yo, who got stabbed? You know, did they live? You know, that type of time. But nobody was really shooting each other up around that time. But then it got a little rough. So, you know, still that overlooking of family members and, you know, friends and neighbors that was around, you know, they were, you know, looking out for the kids and, you know, keeping us out of trouble. I could say for the most part though, yeah, it wasn't too bad. Back then, if you struggled, you know what I'm saying, like your parents made sure you didn't feel it. You feel me? Like that was a big part of it. Like I would say, my parents didn't really let us feel the struggle. You know what I mean? If we didn't know, but we knew, you know, at times a lot of kids had more than we did. You know what I'm saying? Holidays was, you know, very family oriented, but holidays were, you know, we might have got a lot this year. We might didn't get much this year. You know, 1 or 2 big gifts, 3 big gifts. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But when we was hurting, you know, we really didn't feel it. You know, so that was a good thing too. It didn't matter where we went. You know, everybody's doors was open. You know, so if you wasn't able to go home tonight, somebody will, you know, hey, well, you know, stay here. I call your mama, see, you know, will she come get you? They'll feed you, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you was all right. But the world done changed, man. But Rochester itself is different now. But coming up, it was a time, man, I could say.
Nah, yeah, I mean, just from what you're describing, in some areas a complete 180.
Yeah, big time.
Like when you spoke about the gun violence, I don't want to get into that too deep, but even then now, I mean, you know, we got one of the highest murder rates per capita.
Bruh.
So, you know.
The streets ain't the same, though.
Yeah.
So, you know, the streets was the streets. Like, the kids knew who was doing what, you know what I'm saying? But we knew, you know, it could be a family member, it could be somebody who was around, but they kept you away from it, you know what I mean? And it really wasn't about, I would say that was the area of originality, though. You know what I'm saying? Like being different, like being creative in your own way, like style-wise, or how you dressed, or how you moved, your haircut. You know what I mean? It even down to like dancing, and you know what I'm saying? That was the time of dancing and girls in the street playing double dutch, and you know that type of time. Yeah, bro.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, and I was a clubber. I clubbed hard here. So that's the thing too. Like the clubs were really big in my time frame when I, you know, in my teens we had teen clubs here. You know what I mean? We had the Zoo, Volcano, Pulse. We had a few different places that we can go and actually liquor room. Those they had like the 18 and older nights. You know what I'm saying? And then it changed. But it was due to like a lot of the violence too, you know what I'm saying? So then the ages changed and all that different things, you know what I'm saying? We had Water Street, that popped, you know what I'm saying? That was real big at one point. So back then we had stuff to do. And I could say even into the like the, you know, mid 2000s, you know what I'm saying? 2010 all the way up 2010, 2015, it was still stuff to do. But now, man, yeah, it ain't much to do. Yeah. They ain't much to do, man.
Nah, I hear you, Pete. Pete, before we get into a little bit more of kind of like, you know, when you really kind of started stepping out and were like really like exploring the world on your own, what was your household like coming up?
To be honest, man, like my dad, he worked a lot. My dad worked a lot, but when he was home, you know what I'm saying? He didn't really, you know, spend too much time with us, but it was more like, you know, we knew he was in the house. We wanted to be around him. He bought, like, it was times where he was just, you know, he bought movies every week. Okay. So we had a movie day, like movie day Saturdays, you know what I'm saying? Sundays he'll go and buy it. We used to have a video store here, you know what I mean? And we used to go there, and then it turned into like Hollywood Video after that. But we used to go and pick out, each one of us would pick out a movie, you know what I'm saying? He'll rent the movie, and we go home, we sit and watch movies, you know what I'm saying? My mom, very church lady, you know what I'm saying? Very into the church. As of right now, she's an apostle. Like, that's levels within that, you know, the religious part. Very loving family in general. My household alone, like my mom loved on us. You know what I'm saying? Very, very heavy. My mom loved on us. So, you know, as far as like affection and time and, you know, really being able to speak with her when things were going a certain way, she was there for that. You know what I'm saying? She never really, one thing I could say, even though she was very religious, she never forced those type of things on us. You feel me? Like, it was like, okay, well, learn. We had to learn on our own, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, we were decent kids, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like we was out here just like venting out of pain, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we didn't really feel that, so we weren't vicious kids or nothing like that. So it helped along the way. My mom definitely, you know, she cooked a lot. I come from a family that cook, bro. Like,
you told me.
Cook. So, you know, from my aunties, you know what I mean?
I remember you told me the apple jelly pie.
The apple jelly cake.
Yeah.
Man, that jelly cake, man, make your face fall off, dude. Like, it's real, I'm telling you. Like, I mean, you know, my grandmother and my grandfather really provided a safe haven for us, really too. Like, you know, they gave to the community big time. You know, my grandfather, he has 2 churches. He would do anything for anybody, man. It didn't matter. He could see the grime and grit on a person. He'd still do something for him. It was crazy, but the greatest man I know, you know what I'm saying, to be honest with you, you know what I mean? My dad definitely was a great man as well. And when I speak well, you know, they still are in my heart, but, you know, they both, you know, are deceased right now.
My condolences.
You know, it taught me a lot.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? And becoming a man, you know, even within that, it taught me a lot. I had great, you know, good men. I had good, should I say, leadership. And what's the best word to say that?
Guidance?
Well, guidance is good. Role models.
Role models.
I have very good role models. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though, you know, neighborhoods and trends changing and people changing and all that.
You had foundation.
I had foundation with that. So, you know what I'm saying? Even though, like I always told you, though, I have my own mind. Like, I was always more of a leader than a follower. So, you know, if anything, I was setting the trend. So what we was doing was what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? It was like if we was playing football every day, it was because I was like, yo, we playing football today. We not about to run the street. We not about to, no, let's meet at the field and get busy. Like, that's what we was doing. You
that's
know
the Capricorn in you.
Indeed, for sure. But I just knew better, you know? It's crazy. So, you know, like I said, even though, like I said, my grandfather had 2 churches, and that was the underlying fabric to, you know, part of my being, you know what I'm saying? But I stepped away at an early age, to be honest with you.
From the church?
Yeah, I stepped away at an early age, like 12, 13. It wasn't to run the streets or nothing like that. It's just like, you know, on a spiritual level, a lot of things just didn't sit right with me. So I took it upon myself to like kind of step away. And like I said, my mom never forced it. You know, I would go from time to time, you know, she got to the point where it was like holidays and stuff like that. But for the most part, nah. But I don't knock nobody who do. I don't knock nobody who in it, who was there every day. You know what I'm saying? You know, because church was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You might get Saturday to do what you got to do. Then Sunday you back in church, and it started right back over. You feel me? So that was another thing with me. I was like, I can't be in here every day, man. I'm a kid with a life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, pretty much. But I had a pretty good upbringing for the most part. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
like I said, I wasn't able to really. I had protectors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, foundation
good people,
in the home.
Yeah, good people in my family that would keep us away from harm. You feel me?
That's what's up. You mentioned church, going to church a lot. Is your family from the South?
Basically, yeah. I'm based out of the South. So, yeah, my mom, aunties, uncles, they Augusta, Georgia.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? My dad from Tunica, Mississippi.
You said, what part of Mississippi?
Tunica.
Tunica.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a small little
I
spot.
thought you said, what is it, Tulipo?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah,
yeah, like Elvis and all them is from.
Oh,
okay,
no.
Okay, so you said Tunica, Mississippi. You said Augusta, Georgia.
Augusta, Georgia.
Okay.
And my grandmother was from around like the St. Petersburg, Florida area. Like,
Oh, okay. So you got a little Geechee in you too.
Oh, bro, I'm a southern geek, like a southern Yankee, they would say.
Yeah, I got
you know what I mean, a southern New Yorker. Like, that was my upbringing. So everything was southern in the house. Though.
Definitely.
Like, you know,
it sound like it, like just the way you describing it. Like it definitely sound like
it was very southern. Like, you know what I mean. Everybody still had their accents. So it wasn't like, you know, you was coming up and everybody was speaking like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, dog, shun. Nah, it was more, no, y'all better get out of my kitchen while I'm cooking. That's the type of time they was on, you know, so it was very, a lot of, you know, a lot of accents flying around, but for the most part, yeah, it were pretty good.
Nah, that's what's up, man. Thank you, P, for that.
No doubt.
Sometimes I ask people like, hey, you know, talk to us about your life, and they be like, oh, I had a good life, and I'm like, oh, okay. But,
it's like you said, and we could get into that. You know how that go.
Oh yeah, for a fact, P.
Like, I got real life tatted on my hands.
Yeah, for a fact.
I say, I could really say I lived a real life. Like, I'm a realist.
Yep.
You know, like people, I'm the realist. No, I'm a realist, meaning I take things for what they are. You know what I mean? It ain't about how you make it up, man. You can make it up, but it don't change what it is.
For a fact.
You feel me? And that's it. Like, you could put makeup on a person that don't change who they is. You know what I'm saying? You could dress a piece of poop up in Gucci, but it's still a piece of poop at the end of the day.
Oh, you can curse, by the way, if you want to.
Oh, okay. Well, a piece of shit. It's gonna be a piece of shit. You dress a piece of shit in Gucci, it's still a piece of shit
in some Gucci.
Indeed. That's just what I'm saying. So, you know what I mean? That's one thing I thrive off of, too. You know how that is, man. Just being a good person, man. Like, be a good person, man.
For a fact.
That's it. It shouldn't be that hard to be a good person, man.
Nah, I agree.
And, you know, a lot of people going through what they going through. Message, but, you know, just be a good person, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that much misery in the world, man. I understand it's a lot of pain, a lot of trials and tribulations, but just be a good person, man.
Gotcha.
That's from the heart, too. Like, for real. Just be a good person.
Just be a good person, I got you. Well, Pete, I want to talk about music because, you know, that was one of the key, outside of, you know, working out, you know what I'm saying, just being two genuine people. That's one of the key things that, you know, I feel like really brought us together. Now, as far as music, I always say that people who love it to the way that we do usually start somewhere between like middle school and like early high school. Yeah. But what was being played in the household when you were coming up?
Whew. Yeah. Now, I'll be honest with you now. It was a lot of oldies, man.
Yeah,
like a lot of oldies. I had a well-rounded household. Okay. So my dad be playing Keith Sweat and Marvin Gaye and, you know, Gerald Levert and all the, you know, the singers.
The singers,
singers. But then, you know, I had, like, to be honest, a Cool G Rap. KRS-One, Dougie Fresh, you know what I mean, Chuck D, you know what I mean, we had that Digital Underground. Man, it's a long EPMD, Public Enemy, like all these, anything you could think of, my dad was on that. But I will say, when Wu-Tang came out, well, when Cream came out from Wu-Tang, that really put a real big stamp on my life. My dad rode around in that Cadillac bumping that every single day. When he pulled up, Cream was pumping. Cream, get the money. Dollar bill, yo. Hey, yo, I grew up on the crime side, the New York. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was like I was right there. But those were those was like my, you know what I'm saying, my wonder years too, though. You know what I'm saying? To see my pops move around a certain way.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Because I love Cadillacs. Did your dad have Vogues on his lap?
Yeah. The first, my dad had three, my dad had 3 caddies?
3?
They called him caddy. I got it tatted on my back, man.
I didn't
Yeah.
Damn,
like,
that's real.
Yeah, my dad, they called my dad caddy, man. He definitely had a new caddy every couple years, man.
Yeah, so that's how he rode.
A gray one, a burgundy one, then he had one that he passed on to me a little later on. Well, after he passed, it was given to me, but he had a Caddy STS.
Okay. Oh, you told me about that car.
The 95 joint, 95 Caddy STS. That joint had the, you know what I mean, the gold walls on it with the you know what I mean, the 5-star joints, chrome. That thing was beautiful. Yeah,
it sound like it. And I'm sorry, I really get in my feelings when we talk about lax because, you know, Cadillac is my favorite make of car. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people ask me my dream car, and I tell them I want to Escalade.
Okay.
Like, you know, call me simple if you want to.
It is what it is.
It is what it is, you know. Right. Escalade a Ferrari, but that's a topic for another day. So, you know, but I try to tell people, and my friends who know me, and I say, if you, and I don't own a lac, so, you know, but if you gonna ride, not yet, that's what I'll say, but if you gonna ride lac, you gotta have Vogues. You gotta have Vogues. I don't think people understand it. You know, like you said, your father came up, you know what I'm saying, you come from like a southern, like foundation as far as like being raised. As I said before, you know, my grandmother was from Kentucky, my father, we're all family, we from Georgia. If you had a lag and it wasn't on chrome, or even some kind of white wall, but if it wasn't on Vogues,
you had to do it properly.
Yeah, and it wasn't on chrome. Exactly, you had to do it properly. It was like, what are you doing?
Right.
So that's why, you know, a lot of people probably like, why, man, the lac and the Vogues on chrome is essential.
Indeed.
If you gonna ride lac, you gotta have. If you gonna go and spend 80, 90 G's on whatever lac you bought, you gotta go ahead and spend another $2,000-$3,000 on the mustard and mayonnaise tires. You have to.
Yeah, it was, you know, like I said, it was a time frame.
Yes.
That, you know what I'm saying? So,
and people will never understand that. And people be looking at me like, why are you so particular about that? What you mean? This is how I was raised.
Yeah, it was a time. It was a time frame where that was it. Like, but that was the statement for our community.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You knew who had it, you knew who didn't.
And I see people getting caddies now and they're lax now and they just...
Because the bodies on them don't fit them tires either, though.
Great point.
So if you're going to do now, if you're going to do it now, you got to get the right rims,
Yeah.
like you rims now. You know what I'm saying? Like sit them on some 20s or something, 22s, 24s, and do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like the Vogues was for that time. You feel me?
If I get them, I want to get about them 5-inch like the Texan wire wheels or late 84s that was made by Krager. You know what I'm saying? Only about 5 inches poking. I be seeing like some of the dudes in Texas, they be having 15s, 20s. Yeah, and I'm like, nah, I be hitting trash cans.
But mind you, you already know. See, that's where they from.
Yeah, that's how they ride.
Is,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I respect that. I just can't do it.
We went to time frame though early, you know what I'm saying, 2000s, mid 2000s. You already know. People was putting spree wells on everything.
Oh,
you know what I mean? The
that was an
sprees,
era
but
too.
somebody run up and spin your joints. You feel me? So
no, what T.I. say? What T.I. say? The car's been stopped, but the rims keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah,
nah,
man.
for a fact. But that piece. So you said growing up in the household, you said Pops was you told an interesting story. You said he'd pull up in that lack, and you said he'd be playing Cream. The earliest memory I got with me and like my dad really is the person I credit with really giving me my musical passion.
Indeed.
Is the earliest memory that I have is my Pops. We was living in Carrollton, Georgia at the time, and so we about an hour out from Decatur where he lived.
Gosh.
And we sitting there, and in the car, my dad we went to Chick-fil-A, went to go get us like a biscuit or whatever. We on our way to go work. So anytime I was around my pops, it was work.
Gosh.
Yeah, my dad. One thing I remember him saying, "Ain't nothing gonna come to you because you crying. You gotta work for what you want."
Indeed.
But I'll never forget we sitting up in that. My dad had this gray, like I think like the paint was like kind of rubbed off, so it was like the undercoat. But because I'm saying Pops was just getting his out of his situation from before, so he was just getting reinserted back into society.
Indeed.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But but
indeed.
I remember he had one 12, or it was either a 12 or a 10. I think it was a 12 subwoofer in the back, and I never forget it. My dad your mother tells me, we just getting to know each other. Mother tells me you like music. Yeah, Pops, I know a little something. Man, let me put you on to some player shit. And my dad to this day still utilizes CDs.
Yo,
my dad to this day, my dad got a big black case that's sitting in almost any car he in, and he still utilizes CDs.
Well, I ain't gonna front, bro, because I got some. I got a few at the house.
Yeah, me too. But that's his primary way of listening.
Indeed.
You talk to my dad about streaming, he gonna look
few.
at you like this. Streaming?
Gosh.
Yeah, he gonna look at you like you crazy.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget it. He's like, man, son, go in that black case. I went in the black case, and he's like, yeah, this one. 8-ball and MJG coming out hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and I never forget it. My dad skipped over a couple songs. He's like, let me put you on to some player shit. And when 8-ball came on, and it was
that voice was distinct.
Yes, I was broke as a
voice.
motherfucker. My life at the end, G. My so-called friends, they had no ends to lend me. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
I was like, hold on. I'm like, wait a minute. And so that was like my early memory.
Right.
It was interesting to hear you say that about how your pops, like I said, just your early memories and when you really fell in love with music.
Yeah.
Our situations were similar. But anyways, P, please continue. So once you say you came up listening to all the popular groups in the 80s and in the early 90s.
Early 90s.
So you said that you started doing music when you was around 12.
Yeah.
What led to that? What led to you wanting to be a rapper?
It's wild. It's like...
Excuse me, let me say wanting to be a rapper, being a rapper.
Being one, yeah. I will be honest with you, man. And that was me being a rapper coming into becoming an artist. But I will say, it was more or less like music. Now I'll tell you, like my family, everybody's musically inclined.
Really?
In some way, shape, or form. Everybody either play an instrument or they sing.
Okay.
My instrument was the beat machine. I could sit on a pair of drums and keep time, man.
Okay.
I could play a couple chords here and there, keys, but it didn't click with me. Like my people to tell you, like anybody that's been around me musically will tell you, like I tell them I got symphonies playing in my head, bro. So it's like, I could sit down and make a beat from nothing, but that came from beating on lunch tables and making our own beats. But it was more or less like sitting at the top of the stairs, and my dad would bump the music. And a lot of it, the influence came from how much he loved the music. So it was me watching him, his mannerisms, how he moved, his daily routines.
He was
and
a
how
musician
did.
himself.
Nah, see, that's the thing. My dad came from the South, like Tunica, a small city.
Okay.
Hey, man, that man wished he could sing, because he used to sing down there. It used to sound crazy. But that's the difference, of the families coming together, My father came up here on a whole different level, like, He got into something down there and came up, and him and my mom, they was going to school down there, and you know,
college.
Yeah, they was going to college. So the Rolling Stone type business too, because he had 2 other kids, and
Oh my, okay.
on the way like it was
Lord.
crazy. So I got siblings. It's 8 of us.
Lord have mercy.
We ain't figured that out till
Later on down
in
the
life.
line, yeah. I
But
hear that.
when he came up here, he did choose my mom. He married her at 18.
God bless him.
And
Ooh, your dad started young. You said he had 2 on the way and he got married at 18?
yeah,
Lord.
he came up here, you know, and did what he had to do though. That's why I say working man, whatever. That, like, you know, working. That's what he did, like you said with your pops. But top of the stairs daily. And I would sit up. He didn't even know I was up there like that. But then one day he caught me. He was coming upstairs. He's like, "Boy, what you doing up here? Like, you ain't supposed to." And he caught himself. He's like, "You know what? Come on down here." And when he brought me down there, like you said, my dad had like a little because we used tapes back then, you know what I'm saying? The real tapes, cassette tapes.
Yeah.
So he opened the joint up, and it was a brown box, cassette tapes.
Stacked.
Lined with tapes, bro. And it literally was like, at least it had to be 25 in each one, and it was like 6 rolls, and they full.
So hundreds of tapes.
So I was hearing all kind of music. I just didn't know who I was listening
to.
But I mean, I will say the one joint that really jumped out, because he used to listen to Too Short all the time too, and it was like against the law. That Too Short used to be talking
wild.
crazy.
Yeah, he was wild back in his day.
Too Short used to be wild, but vocally,
I like Too Short too.
it was Big Daddy Kane and Cool G Rap.
Those was like your 2 people.
Them
who's
2
really
right
inspired.
there.
Them ball spitters too.
Yeah, so
them 2
it's
of the
like
nicest ever.
big influence, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I really wasn't like the lyrics really wasn't catching me at first, but it was more of the vocal tone and their presentation, and then to see them on TV every once in a while and be like, yo, the way they representing, like, them dudes is nice, you know what I mean? But it was like they was smooth, fly, you know what I mean? Gangsta and a gentleman type of representation,
Yeah, for a
which,
fact.
you know what I'm saying, I picked that up. It resonated with me, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, yo, that's where I'm going. You know what I mean? I wanna do that. But it just made sense. I could be honest with you. It wasn't pushed on me. Nobody else in my family really rapped like that. None of that. So it was definitely natural, bro. Like, that's what I gravitated to. Like I said, you know, a bunch of singers, bunch of people in the, you know, they was in the church. So, you know, the singers, my aunt and my mom, vocal beasts, both of them. My uncle, he plays the guitar, fire, crazy with that. And my other uncle played the keyboard, fire. So it's like everybody plays, you know, and it was handed down, like, you know. I got a cousin that played the bass and the guitar. My brother, he played the drums and the bass. My cousin, he plays the keys. My other cousin played the drums. Like, we all could hop on each one, though, and do a little something. But my grandparents kept a piano in the house. They kept drums in the house, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So that's where the music really came into play. But I just felt like that was it was a good way to express myself. And also as a thinker, a kid who knew how to, like, melodies just played in my head like all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? I was looking for it, listening to sounds, walking around, hearing different things. It could be the sound of a can. You hit it the right way, it's gonna make a different octave, or, you know what I mean? Beating on the table, making beats. Man, listen, I was a lunchroom king, bro. So it was like, sitting at tables, battling all day, like, you know what I mean? Missing mad classes.
Just battling.
Battling all day, bro. Like, my senior year, I ain't go to class. I should have. I should have, but, you know, I had 4 study halls.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So now I
did what you had to do already.
Yo, bro, trust me, I was the class clown too. I was wild. Like, I ain't go front. I used to bug out of school, but it was all based on me getting my work done first and then clowning after, though. So, man, I graduated with a 3.03 GPA, bro. I was straight.
Man, you play sports and everything, so that's quite impressive.
Indeed, for sure.
Nah, that's what's up.
I know how to balance it.
Okay, yeah.
Just like now, life.
Yeah.
Just balancing that.
Just balancing everything.
Indeed.
Yeah. Nah, that's definitely something we'll have to come back to. So,
For sure.
you said, what is it, Big Daddy Kane and Cool G Rap?
G-Rap.
Was like your 2 biggest inspirations. I'll just tell you mine from that era. Slick Rick,
Yeah.
Because his ability to tell stories.
Oh, yeah.
Slick Rick, and I like Chuck D.
Yeah.
Because even though I had to kind of get a little bit older to really understand what Chuck D was saying, I'm like, he's saying something powerful about black people.
Oh, yeah.
And then LL.
LL, yeah.
Yeah, LL was another one. I was like, man, like, you know, like, I liked how, you know, he could be a hard lyricist in one song, and then you get like, I Need Love.
Yeah, he was.
You see what I'm
He was.
saying?
He was the Supreme Ladies Man. Though.
Yeah.
Like if you did,
That's his name. Ladies love Cool James.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
If you didn't. If you ain't fool with LL, bro, you probably ain't got no girls to this day. So and coming from my era, you got zero ladies, bro.
Yeah.
Like it was wild. It was him that really, like, he set the tone for dudes to be like that, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? To really be like Casanova type.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Really,
But
man. Being a ladies man.
I beat you up too, like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he was in great shape. You know what I mean?
He still is.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying?
LL Traps look like Mount Everest.
Yeah,
For real.
Yeah,
I be seeing him on TV. He'll pop out like this. I be like, oh shit!
Yeah,
Like there ain't no way a 50-year-old look like that. But
Yeah, it did.
yeah, but you know what? That's this.
This.
As you
Yeah,
said,
we
you
talk
tell me
about
that all the time. Yeah, that's
bro.
this.
Yeah, DNA different, man.
And another quick
Nigga.
thing before we move on. Favorite from Wu-Tang?
My favorite?
Yeah.
Hey, yo, I'll be honest with you now.
Okay, let me hear something. Cause you different. I'm expecting you to give me a different answer than the main three.
Because I got compared to him a lot. So
okay.
which is Ghost.
Ghost your favorite?
Ghost. It's a tie though, bro.
Go between Ghost
and Ray, bro.
Okay, I
them
respect
two.
that. Okay.
Like them two.
Uh-huh.
Even I already heard about the essence of they beefing and all that, bro. I ain't know that back then. I just knew they was tough, bro.
Yeah.
Like
my favorite is Ghost.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
that's-
Supreme Clientele.
Yeah. Oh, that was my joint.
A masterclass in the art of
that
rhyming.
was my joint. Okay.
You will rarely hear rhyming to that level.
Indeed, but you gotta see his beat selection was incredible and it was different. So it put you in a place where like, yeah, bro, like.
And the way he would tell stories using all them non sequiturs.
Oh, yeah.
So how he'll say one line, then the next line didn't have anything to do with the previous line, but then
Yeah.
that following line will have something to do with the one before
Yeah,
the previous
it
one.
It probably wouldn't rhyme or nothing like that. But then the
Ghost
way he
and
just-
Ray, the way, but Ghost was my favorite.
That supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Dosisexpialidocious. That the man, like, bro, who talking like that?
Who reversed that?
Indeed.
Yeah.
He sat there, I mean, and it might not seem complicated,
But it's dope.
but it was complicated.
Yeah.
Like, nobody ain't do that in a track before he
Ghost
did
is
that.
one of the nicest rhymers
Yeah.
ever.
Now, see that? Well, you said Wu-Tang, but I would say somebody who had a very big influence on my rhyme game at one point was Nas, though. So Nas, it was written, and I got a crazy story behind that, cause I had the CD, bro. My dad left it, you know.
Oh, man.
We had a situation, you know. I turned 12, my dad and my mom split for a bit, and
I got you.
my dad left the CD, man. So, you know, I'm good, I'm chilling, you know, cool. My sister dating this weird dude, I don't like it. You know, I don't like that nigga, bro. I swear to God, if I saw him today, I might punch him. You feel me?
Lord.
Like, it was wild. I will punch his face, bro.
Okay.
But
Got you.
it's crazy because he asked me for it. And it was very popular at the time. I didn't know what I had. Basically, you know, like I said, my dad was up on everything. So, you know, he asked me for it. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, you can hold it. Let him hold it. I never saw my CD again, bro. So, like, this a dude that's older than me, too. So, you know what I'm saying? At the time, I'm 12, 13 years old. This dude, 18, 19, he slides off with it, but then come back around like, hey, yo, what's going on with that nigga? Yo, nigga, where my CD at?
Yeah, for a fact.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But, like, Nas had a big...
It was written.
Yeah,
you know, it's
it was
crazy to hear you say that, because when a lot of people talk Nas, they always talk Illmatic, and I love Illmatic.
That was one of my. That was
yeah,
one of my.
of course.
You know, one of my favorites. But it was really.
Illmatic is my third favorite Nas album, personally.
Gotcha.
You know,
Yeah.
and I always said this: Nas has one of the best discographies. I know a lot of people. I will say this: Nas definitely does have a lot of, in my opinion, subpar albums.
Oh, yeah.
But like, even when I hate to even bring this up, but even like when people be comparing Jay-Z and Nas, overall albums, Jay-Z is deeper. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z got about 6 or 7 classics. I give Hov his credit. But I tell people, you compare Nas' best 3 or 4 to Hov best 3 or 4, Nas is punching with Hov, in my personal opinion.
What was you being? Ether, bro. We not about to do that. Like, we not about to do that, bro. Ether is the best diss track ever written to me. What other diss track is iller than Ether?
Man, I thought Takeover was more impressive. I thought
You're a Jay-Z fan, that's it.
You know, it's actually crazy. I actually, if you talk to some people who I really talk about music with, not really.
You don't really care for him? Because I don't care for him.
I rock with Hov.
No, Hov, I don't. Listen, Hov, if you listen to this, bro, I'm not knocking what you do. But I'm gonna really be honest. Like,
okay,
Hov is spectacular at what Hov do.
What does Hov do? Let's hear if we have the same opinion. I think we do.
The hand movements, the gestures, the message.
Okay.
The message. His delivery is impeccable. But Hov came a long way. See, people look at new Hov and then look at the early Hov. And it's like, you know, Hov write good stories, Hov write good tracks. He got, man, listen, the track with him and Too Short, a week ago.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
One of my favorites too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I wouldn't knock. I'm not knocking.
No, I feel you.
At all.
See, and you always have to say that because people, especially on the internet, go too far. Because me, I like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I love
indeed.
Hov. Hov is in my top 10, top 15, and I like a lot of rappers.
Indeed.
You see, but this is my thing. I wouldn't necessarily, when you say I'm a Jay-Z fan, yes, but am I a bigger fan of him than Nas? Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is what I say about Jay-Z though.
Take over. I
say take over.
I'm stopping you, but go ahead.
Yeah, the reason why, but I'll speak on that. The reason why I say Takeover is because I felt like Takeover had a lot of like factuals in there. He was talking about, you know, the infamous line, you know what, do you know who, do you know what, will you know who? Let's keep that between me and you.
Yeah.
And then how he got at, you know, Nas, and he was kind of telling the truth to a certain extent. Went from Nasty Nas to Esco's trash, had a spark when you started, but now you just garbage, fell from top 10 to not mention at all. And he said your bodyguard's Uchi Wally verse was better than yours. And like when I sat back and I thought about it, I'm like, okay, Illmatic was fire. It was fire too. So I was like, okay, Hov. So, you know, I was like, so when he got into the whole, what is it? 4 albums in 10 years I could divide. That's one, let's say two. Two of them shits was through. I mean, 2 of them shits was due. One was Air, the other was Illmatic. That's one high album for every 10-year average.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. Even though I disagree, Illmatic was fire. It was fire. But like, I Am and Nostradamus, it got a little weird. You see what I'm saying? So the way he deconstructed Nas like that, and the way he just kind of got at his whole career, then threw the whole baby mom thing in for extra like effect.
That was whack. That was whack, bro. But come on, man.
I'm not gonna call it whack.
The baby seat thing was. It was whack.
No. You talking about Super Ugly?
Well, Super Ugly. Yeah, But I'm saying either way.
I'm talking about Takeover.
Takeover. The baby.
And then how he got at everybody from Queens.
Yeah.
Not even just Nas. That's why I personally think
Jay was in a position to do that, though.
Okay. Oh, fair.
Jay was in the front. Jay was a front runner. Jay was in a position to do that. But what Nas did in Ether, bro, I mean,
I feel like...
bro, listen.
Okay.
The beat alone
Fire.
was crazy.
Fire.
Everything he said line for line was powerful, man.
It was hilarious.
It was, and it was like, yo, you got to look at the essence of Ether. Now, right now, I'll be honest with you, I got so much on my mind, I can't really get into the bar for bar, lyrically, you know what I mean, all that, bro. Trust me, you already know. Like, if I really had to sit down, if I heard Ether right now, I know every single line in that.
Ether's a great song.
Exactly, but I don't want to jam it up trying to recite and go back and forth. And me personally, I'll be honest with you, like when that beef was going on, though, I was so focused on myself and my music at that time, bro. I mean, I have times like that where I just zone out, all the music out, and just become, be the artist that I am. But that had to be something that when people started going crazy, like, yo, you heard that beef between Nas and Jay? I'm like, oh, okay. But I ain't gonna front. As soon as I heard Ether.
Yeah, he was like, damn. Like I said, I like Ether, but I think Takeover to me was better from a technical standpoint. What is it, No Vaseline? I think it's probably the greatest because that was crazy disrespect. It's one of the greatest. Like I said, I have to sit down and really think about the greatest. What else some other diss track I like? I liked the way Mobb Deep and them came back at the way they came back at Jay, I believe. Was it Jay? Drop a gem on them.
Yeah.
I like that song.
That's my favorite group. Though.
Yeah. Oh, and
you said group, not rapper, but group.
Oh no, I'm
Mob
saying as far as diss track.
No,
Okay.
I'm saying Mob is my favorite group, but I get what you're saying.
And I like Real Motherfucking G's. That's another one. Dre Day is cool, but Real Motherfucking G's, I mean, when Easy said, man, you know, the same records that you making is paying me, and it was true, I was like, damn. So those are some of my favorite diss tracks, but Ether's fire though. Oh, and Story of Adidon by Push.
Well, I ain't. Bro.
Yeah, you
me
probably...
and Pusha T.
Okay.
I don't. It's not like I dislike him at all.
Gotcha.
No, like Pusha T, I had to really sit and go through his catalog. So me and him kind of got the. Because I mean, if you hear people talk about it, they say all he talk about is coke. It's like all he talk about is coke.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, so I don't really want to delve into that.
Okay,
now I will say, like his wordplay though, he's definitely
absolutely ridiculous.
He's definitely decent with his wordplay. He put it together well. His brother was tough too. So
No Malice is known now.
Yeah, so it was, you know.
I think they might actually be doing a reunion because No Malice been on tour with Push like overseas and everything. So I'm hoping to see Eclipse come back together. Right. But as far as me being a Jay-Z fan, like I said, it depends on who you ask.
I feel like you're a fan, bro.
I love Jay-Z.
I love Jay-Z. I love this music.
But I rock with Nas too. But like I said, I have been critical of Jay-Z and people got at me for that. I think, to me, for my money, I think when we talk about overall, I think Jay-Z, to me, for my, I think he probably is the best. And the reason why I say he's the best actually isn't necessarily based upon his rhyme ability. I think Jay-Z is the best because he stayed relevant for 30 years. He's found a way to be successful from the CD era all the way to the streaming era. He's brought so many different producers he's worked with, from No ID to Just Blaze to Ninth Wonder. There's so many artists so many producers who have benefited from working with him.
Right, indeed.
I think another thing that makes Jay-Z great, Jay-Z to me is the, if Tupac would have lived a little bit longer, I think Pac might have had this, but to me, Jay-Z is the best songwriter in hip hop history. I think that is a part of what his versatility, his ability to pivot, his ability to work with so many different artists. I think that is what makes Jay-Z great. When people talk about his ability to rhyme, I think that there are people who are better lyrically. And my biggest knock on Jay-Z is, for me, Jay-Z ain't really necessarily told me a story that I love.
Right, got it.
You see what I'm saying? And to me, that's what separates, lyricist.
Right.
I think Jay-Z is an A-grade lyricist. But, for me, it's like, okay, can you tell me a story? And can you tell me a story with replay value? Right. And Jay-Z don't have a Now I Feel You by Scarface. He don't have a, he don't have a Life We Live by Project Pat. He don't have a, there's just so many. He don't have a Day in the Life of Andre Benjamin like Andre 3000.
Gotcha.
He don't have a West Savannah like Big Boy. Right. He doesn't have Mobb Deep whole second album, The Infamous. Like, I just don't necessarily feel like Jay-Z is all that great of a storyteller. Right. So that's why instead of putting him, he don't have a Niggas Bleed like Big. Yeah. He don't have a name an Ice Cube song. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, he don't have it.
Right.
So that's why, I've been critical of Jay-Z for that reason, but is he the greatest in my opinion overall? I give it to him.
Right.
And another thing too I say about Hov, I personally feel like Hov, out of all the great rappers, I feel like he's one of the rappers that has been bodied on his own song or has not shown up on other people's song the way he was supposed to. Right. But one thing I will say though, like I said, I kind of give Hov a knock on some of his features. The last 10 years, Hov been showing his ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I don't necessarily, I'm not as critical of him as I once was, because the last decade he been bodying features.
He in a position to do that though.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't no front. Who rapping next to him? Who really rapping?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because I could go back to the time frame. That's what I'm saying. I'm an 80s baby. I came from the time where they really was in different ranks and they had to move through them ranks. So you gotta think about it. Like, you go back to when Big and Pac was in from.
Yeah.
If Big and Pac didn't go nowhere, Jay probably wouldn't be where he is.
Yeah.
And Prodigy was actually in that place. Big L was in that place. You feel me? Like, $500,000 was on his way. A lot of people don't know about $500,000.
I don't. Put
see
me
what
on
I'm saying?
So Pun was on his way too.
Yeah, see, Pun, and that's the thing. It depends on where you was from and who you was listening to at that time that was more relative to you. That's why Wu-Tang was so close, New York, East Coast. You can go on the West Coast and ask people about Wu-Tang, they know about it, but it's because of the diversity. But at first, Wu-Tang wasn't
no burn. Yeah, in LA, in the 90s, LA ran shit when it comes to record sales.
Now, mind you, if we pay attention to the rap game itself, though, it jumped.
Every decade.
Yeah, every
like
decade.
LA ran the 90s, New York ran the 2010s. I mean, excuse me, the 2000s, 2010s was Atlanta. So now I don't know what's running what now. Like,
Bro, I'll be honest with you. If you think about it, though, the trap, trap alone, you got to give it to the South, bro. Like,
yeah, South still
trap.
up there. Yeah.
So that's why I say the South itself, but trap music is an actual genre now. Like,
Yeah.
So you got to think about it. Everybody doing trap. So basically, the South did its justice everywhere. If you ain't got one of them, you know what I mean, with Metro Boomin and all these, you know, all those producers, if you ain't really down there, you know what I mean, you ain't using them producers for your beats right now, Hit Boy, you know, cats like that, bro, your music ain't doing nothing right now. You feel me? Let's just be honest. You gotta have that type of music, that type of beat. You know, the Chicago drill scene, which we know, you know, everybody, it's a heavy influence.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, a lot of people say they took that from the UK. Like, you know what I mean? And then we flipped it. That's where it originated. The beats.
Well, Brooklyn drill originated, I think, morally was from the UK.
type
Chicago was this. Chicago originated from trap. Yeah,
so
Chicago had its
like,
own. But it originated from trap.
Excuse me, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, for a fact.
Regardless of what, now it's all sounding the same.
Yeah, but Brooklyn drill definitely UK based.
Yeah,
because a lot of them producers, like when Brooklyn drill, like 4 or 5 years ago, really kind of took off. Axel, I think his name is Rico Beats, Mob Beats. Or Trap House Mob, I think it's like their collective. A lot of them was from the UK.
Yeah, so you gonna delve into a bunch of stuff that don't even correlate with my lifestyle.
I got
you feel me?
Yeah.
I'm still listening to Mob. Like, I'm still listening to the guys that I came up to. So it's kind of like, yo, this new stuff, you already know. They get into the old niggas is feeling some type of way about the new music. Y'all need to adjust. I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get it. Like I ain't gonna front. The beats is crazy. But the artists don't really move me, man. And they letting any and everybody walk in the game, man. And I ain't gonna front. It's a bunch of rejects, to be honest. Like, not the artists themselves, but like the people that they putting in the front. It's like, yo, you're not a representation of me. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of weird stuff going on nowadays. So, like, the essence of what we come from, we call that hip hop.
Yeah.
How much real hip hop out here? Because we ain't say nothing about Cole. You know what I mean? J. Cole get crazy, you know what I mean? Kendrick, Wayne. Now, mind you, Wayne, versatility.
Yeah.
A lot of people forgot about Joe Budden. You know, they call him a simp, talk crazy about him, but his mood music was nuts. That started a whole wave.
You know, a lot of people say whatever they want to about Joe Budden. I like No Love Lost, Some Love Lost, All Love Lost. That 3 trilogy right there, I try to tell, because I think a lot of like younger hip hop fans, quote unquote, they really try to get at Joe about that. But I tell them, you know, when we talk about who can really rap and, you know, artistry, there's few of the new artists who I feel like can actually kind of match that level that he does when he was at. To me, that was Joe's lyrical peak.
When Joe was in his prime, bro.
Yeah. Like the last couple Mood Musics and, like I said, the Love Lost trilogy, Joe was different.
And that's what they were saying. He was sentimental. He was what they say, he was zesty. He was, you know what I'm saying? They was trying to talk crazy about him, but at the end of the day,
art is art, and Joe, like I said, bars is bars, Joe's nice.
Bro, in real life,
and
it don't matter. In real life, a lot of these dudes behind closed doors is soft and zesty, bro. You can play tough all you want, bro. It's a lady out there that got you bending over backwards, doing different things to accommodate what she got going on. He just said it.
I'd have been there before.
He just happened to say it.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's a difference. That's why I say, so a lot of the artists that I do follow, I did follow, which, like I said, I be so focused on my own realm a lot of times, bro. I step out of the way. But I do know what's usually usually what's popping, all that, you know what I mean? But like now, I really don't like to get into none of it, because it's like...
It's enough. You're just not a fan.
Yeah, man. Like you know, the clout chasing and internet pushing all them buttons and all that, bro. Come on, man.
Yeah, internet is...
And then you want me to, like, when I see you, I come from an era like...
It's on site.
It was on site. Like,
it was real.
Shoot the fifth. We fair ones. We had all of that. Like,
you know, you come from the era. I heard a rapper by the name of Court. He actually has his own show. Shout out to Court. What is it? Big Court. He said, like, your words. Sometimes you have to pay with your words with your ass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Indeed.
era you come from.
Yeah, that's the era I come from. Like
Yeah.
real talk. Like your mouth gotta do. Your hands gotta be able to work
Yeah.
if your mouth working. You feel me? It's crazy. Like a lot of these dudes talk crazy all the time, bro.
Yeah.
But then when you see a person, for you know, it right in front of them, face to face, now it's, oh nah, bro. You know, I was just we not dumbing nothing down. Keep that same energy.
Same energy you had before.
We gonna get it shaking.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like me personally, that's why I don't even get in there like back and forth with you know, individuals, because I know now, regardless of what, if it do get to some of them certain extents, now I mean, ain't no heart behind them bullets, man. You feel me? So a lot of these cats is just cold, or they moving to try and prove something, versus them doing it for survival. You know what I mean? Like, I believe in my era, a lot of dudes was doing that. Like, if they were putting in that work, it was for survival. You feel me? It wasn't about trying to impress a bunch of people. You feel me? That's like a bunch of people that don't even know you. Don't care to know about you. Y'all putting on a show to go somewhere where ain't no show. Now you got somebody telling you when you can turn the TV on, if you can watch TV. You sitting in a room with a bunch of dudes. Like, bro, it's corny. So I hate to get off topic, but
Nah, hey, real is real. Please continue.
that part. So it's like, you know, I do pay attention to the rap scene.
Real life.
Indeed, all day. Like, I pay attention to the rap scene. I pay attention.
Can you hold it up, P, so the viewers can see it?
I don't know if I can get them close enough, but you know what I mean.
Well,
That's
they can kind of see it.
Yeah.
That way, when you look at your hands, they know what you're looking at.
I got a couple rings on, but it's real life and hard work on my hands. But it's just really like, you know, I like the reference a lot that's really going on in my life. You know what I mean? Like things that's actually going on or are relative to my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? Versus like trying to impersonate or look at somebody else's life and be like, I'm gonna do that, and then go try it out. And a lot of times, experimenting don't always get you the best results.
Yeah, because you have to live your life.
Exactly.
Well, Pete, let's jump. Speaking about your life, let's jump back into your music because we kind of got off track. But we had a great conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
So, you started rap. So you said going on through high school, you was battling. You said you've always been really musically inclined. You know, you can, you know, some things as far as just simple, basic things when it comes to like drums and instruments, you can pick up on. So when did you say, you know what, I'm about to take rap serious? Because as I said before, you have, you know, several quality projects across all streaming platforms. Make sure that y'all go and stream King Persona. Persona or Persona?
King Persona.
Persona.
Yeah. Well, Persona. You know, it's the twist on the word, but Persona. Persona.
Gotcha. Yeah. So y'all make sure that y'all go tune in. But like, so when did you say, you know what, I'm about to take rap serious? Like, this is what I'm about to do.
Man, listen, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I've been in so many studios. I've always been serious. It's been some of the cats that I've been around that weren't very serious about it. I will say one of the most serious individuals, though, to ever sit down with me, which was, you know, I mean, I call him my brother and my best friend, Nigel McKenzie. He definitely, Nye was definitely.
He still
well,
was?
he goes by Nigel Bay now. But
He's still with us?
Yeah, he's still here.
So you said was. So.
Yeah, he goes by Nigel Bay. He's of Moorish background right now, but for the most part, he put in the most work with me, and we wanted that, bro.
When did it start? What age?
I would say, yeah, like me and him met the first day we met, we clicked, bro. It was we was best friends from that day on. Like that it's a story that need to be told, but it's wild. Like our first day of middle school.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like first day of middle school, we was like 13, 12, 13 years old. Probably, no, 12, we was about 12, 11, 12. Yep, going into middle school, our first day. We sitting in homeroom, and it was an extravaganza because we came in there roasting everybody, man. So, you know, I ain't gonna say no names, but the young lady we was getting on, she was a big girl too, man. Bro, she would have, not like big like that, no. Just she was like big, like Baby D big, like.
Oh Lord.
She could whoop a dude though, like I mean, I ain't gonna say she could whoop me, but it was definitely something we ain't need to be doing, but. Eventually, you know how that go too, because you pick on her, and then later on, sometime in your school days, especially if y'all go from middle school, then go to the same high school, now you liking her in some way, shape, or form, so you got to be careful of that.
Got you.
But yeah, me and him spent a lot of time, so it was like around 12, 13. Like I said, when I got into it, I had started finding ways to make music, and it was about the creativity. It was about being serious. But like as I got older, I'll be honest. Like when I turned I say by the time I graduated in
High school?
2000. Yeah, 2001.
Sheesh, I was 2
That
years
was-
old. Not,
yeah.
not even. You graduated in May. I was a 1.5. But continue.
Indeed, yeah, bro.
I was young.
It was the, like I said, the CD era. It was where you could come out and drop a tape and drop a mixtape. Like mixtapes was big then, you know what I'm saying? So 2001 all the way up, they that was when Clue and Wu Kid and all them. It was a lot of different DJs that was out. You know what I mean?
K-Slay?
K-Slay was like he didn't really do too much for the streets, bro. Like I'll be honest with you, like
Okay.
Clue had the streets.
Yeah.
Clue had the streets, and
Yeah.
with that it was
Clue was different.
Fab, DMX, the Mob was on there. Man, like
K-Slay had like 50, and he had
but
Dipset.
bro, I'm trying to tell you, Clue had the streets,
Clue
bro.
had the streets,
so
okay.
K-Slay might have had it in New York.
Got you.
But for the most part, though, K-Slay might have had it in the New York, but for the most part, yeah. Like,
Clue
don't
had
get
the
it twisted, though, yeah.
streets.
Like, Clue really had the streets here, like I said, in Rochester.
In Rochester, okay.
But
bet.
then,
Got you.
we had cats like Quanah Bomb and, cats like that, too, that had mad, like, they was dope at what they did, you know what I'm saying? You had Big Reg, you had DJ Wiz, you know what I'm saying, that put mixes together or whatever. They definitely, them renowned DJs from here. So it was like, them dudes definitely had a
Chris
good,
G's
good
another
foot in
one,
it.
too.
Yeah, indeed. Like, you know what I'm saying? We got our own culture. We got our own movement. That's why
Yeah.
Rochester rappers kind of stand in their own realm too,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Upstate.
But yeah, upstate, period. Like that domain, the way we rap, the way we move, all that, it's different.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? It's not like it's easily accepted everywhere, but I ain't gonna front. I know a bunch of cats from here that'll go elsewhere and eat everybody's food. You feel me? Like we just lyrically inclined in that manner. And I'll be honest with you, I will say it's the grit of the town, man.
Yeah.
The grit of the town. When we really delved in it, like we really growing up here and being able to recite what you saw, what you went through, or the areas you came up in, and you know what I mean? We could say streets. You know, Hudson, Jenny, Jefferson, you know what I mean? Arnett, Thurston, you know, Dewey. We could say these different streets and everybody know what's going on in these areas. You feel me? So if you came up in them and you actually was, in my time frame, if you were fortunate enough to make it out, you know what I mean? Somebody probably heard your music or heard of you or heard of you getting busy, but it's just so crazy. It seemed like it don't never really make it out of here. But like, you know what I mean? I had to get it, the credibility to 38, like 38 Special, man. He just went hard for what he put into it. And
Green Lantern
yeah.
from here, he helped propel him.
Yeah, Green.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing too, because I mean, it's a lot of different mixed reviews on Green, so I'm not gonna get into that. But
Okay.
I'll be honest with you, like, Special put the work in though. You
Special's
feel me?
Special's nice. He one of my favorites right now.
Indeed. So
I
Special
bump a
put
lot
the
of
work
Special.
in, man. So you got Etho, you got Uwop, you got Larry Love, you got a lot of those guys that was around and putting the work in. You know what I mean? Symph. Illinois, it was a lot of cats. That's one of my, we was close at one time. We went to high school together, and you know what I mean. We did spend time outside of there as well. You know what I mean. So it was like, he's in, you heard of the Cloth, right?
Yes.
So yeah, Illinois is part of the Cloth.
Okay.
You know what I mean. He's good people, man. So, you know what I mean. It's just a lot of cats from the town that should be getting the notoriety. You know what I mean. That it's crazy. It's like people not really, you know what I'm saying? And it could be just the Rochester mentality, you feel me? Like, we from here, we all seem like, okay, I know him, so I'm not gonna support him. Versus you supporting somebody else out of town, it's backwards, you feel me? Like you'll support somebody out of town before you support your own. So I mean, I think we gotta get to a point too where we gotta get out of that mindset. But yeah, getting really I'm sorry. I always
Nah,
kinda do that.
that's all good. Yeah. This is your platform.
Just
as well,
getting serious about it though. Like I say, coming out of high school and just really being able to have access to the things that I needed. You know what I mean? I ain't had the best studio, but I had something to make sure my vocals was clean, and it was Sycamore instrumentals. We had instrumental tapes. Like they was coming out with CDs with just 100 instrumentals on there, and every new instrumental, you know what I mean, say every new song that drop or every new tape that drop, say Nas dropped the album, his instrumental was on that CD.
Sycamore tape.
Yeah, so Sycamore, like everybody knows Sycamore beats. That was definitely something tough. So it was like getting into the instrumentals, doing those. I'll say early on, though, I wasn't really into my own beats. My beats was fire, like crazy. Me personally, I sat and made it. It took so much time to make the beat. It's like...
Because you said you started on FL.
Yeah,
like
early, bro.
Yeah.
I was on FL in like 2003, like. So 2000, that's 20 years of me using that. You know what I mean? And it upgraded a lot, man. I lost a lot of beats with that motherfucker too, though, man. I'll be honest, like computers crashing, losing beats. You know what I mean? Even the recordings, man, the recording software crash, bro, you lose a whole song and be sick. Let the computer crash, you done lost all your music.
All your music, yeah.
And that was the difference. Like, I ain't gonna front, I'm gonna be honest, man. The white boys smart, man. The white boys go out and get external hard drives and all that different stuff. Bro, we ain't know about all that, man. We ain't know too much about all that.
We just get the computer, get the microphone,
exactly.
get the interface, and record.
And having all that on that one computer, and it... Yeah, you know what it make, bro.
It make you want to cry, don't
Yo,
it?
that man cried, break everything. I don't want to rap no more.
Yeah,
Like,
you be ready to fight if somebody even asks you what happened to your music.
This shit, man. Yeah. And that'd be the first thing. Hey, yo, bro, you working on anything? Hey, yo, I don't even want to talk about it, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it definitely was a time where that's why I say the love for it, though, like the passion and really getting into it. And I was going through things, you know what I'm saying? I grew up on Hudson Avenue, bro. Like, that really was the essence of my music. Like, you know what I mean? Waking up, I would live right across the street from the House of Mercy, bro. Like 737 Hudson Avenue, 180 Frederick Park, right there on the corner, like St. Jacobs, directly ahead of my street. The House of Mercy is an open door mission, man. So I don't know a lot of people hearing about it right now. They still, like, it's still a lot of tragedy. It's part of the poverty. I mean, it's part of poverty. It's part of the struggle and things of that nature. But like growing up right there, bro, I seen it all. I seen it all, man, out my window. Like everything from prostitution to drugs, drug deals, drug needles, people using. Man, listen, the first murder I ever seen, like watching a person die, that was different, man. That was real. Like, you know what I mean? I watched a guy, he got stabbed to death, and that changed me a lot, man. So living right there was just, it was tough, bro. Like that neighborhood to this day, but it was cool, because I mean, I would even say it still was neighborhood though. Because, like, people really looked out. Like, people who knew my people, and they knew my people was church people, bro. They, they looked out, you know what I mean? So it wasn't that bad, but, like, that establishment, oh, my God, man. It was crazy. So just being able to take in my surroundings and then eventually...
Put it into the music.
Yeah, but eventually getting into it. So, I'm not going to convict myself, but... I did my share, you know what I mean? I've been out there, I did what I did, you know what I'm saying? I did what I did for my family, though. I wasn't out there for no reason, you know what I'm saying? There was a lot of cats that was just out there. Like, bro, what you out here for? Like, you ain't doing this to feed your family, you ain't doing this to make sure your siblings is good.
You're probably not built for it.
It was a lot of that going on, too, but nah, we weeded them out quick, though.
Yeah.
We weeded them out quick. You couldn't play certain blocks. Like, you couldn't play the block if you wasn't built for it, trust me.
Somebody would ask you, what you doing out here?
Yeah. Like, if it wasn't family, like, really on some, like, like, that's my cousin or that's my brother. But you had to be from the hood, so it wasn't like you was just out there. But, like I said, you had to be a certain pedigree when you was out there, you know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest with you, like, my right hand man, he got deported to Trinidad. I ain't dropping no names or nothing, but my right hand man, he was out there, you know what I'm saying? And I had fell upon hard times, and like a little something went on, and I was drawn into it. So, you know, he gave me an opportunity, and I took the opportunity, and yeah, it was up from there. You know, we was good. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody that knew I was in the street, they'll know like I was still low key, cool, laid back. I knew how to hustle, bro. I was smart, so it worked. But other than that, like, yeah, the music always was in the mix though.
Always.
So I always had a story to tell because I was always in the motion of something going on, something happening around my environment. And being a smart guy, more of a poet.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Knowing how to put my words together, knowing how to make them flow, having good rhythm, being able to hear. You know what I'm saying? I got a set of ears on me that, like, man, from the smallest ting in the beat to the biggest drum, I could hear it. You know what I'm saying? So it was more like utilizing all of that and putting it together and just that gumbo, man. I call it gumbo because once you can mix it all up, you know, the average cat go to the studio, they pick a beat, and then they rap. I gotta make the beat, make sure the beat is, you know, leveled right, take that off, put it in another software, record it, then mix and master it before I could drop it. You know what I mean? Versus somebody going to the studio, all they gotta do is drop their verse, they come back 2 days later, they got a track.
Sometimes come back 2 hours later,
Indeed.
got a track.
But that changed though. That's what I'm saying, that changed. Back then it was like, yo, you come back, I have it done.
Yeah.
But that's when people took pride in the work too though. Man, these microwave rappers right now, bro, these SoundCloud rappers, man, like, I ain't gonna lie, I was on SoundCloud for a hot minute, but I had realized, like, me putting all that time and energy into what I was doing, the love of my craft, the music, you know what I'm saying? And a dude could sit there and turn on his phone, turn the beat on in the background, rap over it, and he blow up tomorrow. That was crazy.
Yeah. I always said this, like when it comes to DSPs, like people talk about which ones were like the biggest game changers, and you know, there's really an argument for, you know, both Apple and Spotify, but I always said this, man, I mean a whole music subgenre of hip hop came from SoundCloud.
Right.
So I'm glad that you mentioned that because, you know, for example, I've never ever heard of an Apple Music rapper, a Spotify rapper, but I've heard of a SoundCloud rapper.
Indeed.
So, you know, that's what I always say, like, man, like SoundCloud, I'm glad that you painted that so perfectly because people don't give that platform enough credit. SoundCloud helped propel a lot of bona fide superstars.
Oh yeah, yeah. Right. But right now, so you get it though. And the ill part about it is though, this is the era of clout. They call it clout chasing. Clout is the era of clout. Like, it ain't about your natural ability. It's about who you know and how you look and what you got on and what you represent and, you know what I mean, what gang and all that. Like, bro, it wasn't about that. See, that's the beauty of where we come from. You know what I'm saying? Like my era where the rapper had to be able to rap. Yeah. We was basing ourselves off of our styles and how different we was. Now, I'll be honest with you. Like, if I had to say, like a newer rapper or a newer artist, right now, man, like Lil Baby.
He one of my favorites.
He's an animal, man.
You wanna know why I like him so much? It's because when he get in that booth and he rap, like, especially like when he gets to doing songs like Emotionally Scarred and what is the name of that song? Dasha Not Try, one of us. Oh, Grace. Like when he gets to rapping, it's like he rap like his life depend on it.
That's it.
And you want to know something too, though? It's crazy that you say that because, you know, I consider people like you an OG. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed,
so,
for sure.
So
No,
a lot of the OGs don't like a lot of the new rappers. And hearing y'all out and listening to what y'all are saying about how times have changed and how it's so much different from where y'all have come from, I understand it to an extent. Right. But a lot of like Lil Wayne, like a couple years ago, Lil Baby, like I consider him an OG. Like, you know, even though Wayne is still he's still a monster at 40 years old. Right. And been in the game for 30 years.
That's why I put him and I was finna say him and Cole. Like they adapted though.
Yeah, for a fact.
You get what I'm saying?
Like even Wayne, he was like, just speak on Lil Baby. He was like, yo, he's like, Lil Baby, my favorite rapper. And like so many like some of the more OGs, they be like, you know what? Like I don't like a lot of the new dudes, but You know, Baby, yeah, he go crazy.
Cause he really telling his story. You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. Like and I mean it's relative music to every age range almost.
And he got some messages in there too.
That's what I'm saying. It's relative. When I say relative, the message is what we getting. We not really getting. You know, what I mean, we getting pieces of him, but the message be so relative. Like you could relate. Like yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's really speaking his pain.
For a fact, yeah. I want him to get back I want him to get back to like what is it? That one album, My Turn.
Okay.
Like the last one he put out, his skill and his ability was fire, but I kind of want him to get back to, you know, a little bit more like Catch the Sun and the song he had with I forgot the name of that song. Started up when I rap into a million and I forgot the name of the song, but I know the cadence. But anyways, I want him to get back to like a little bit more like the messages within his music. But
now it's wild because I'm gonna put you on, and this is the beauty of all. And I even speak for Jay, which you know what I'm saying. I might have said some things earlier about.
Nah, I got you.
But no, I'm just gonna be honest. Like if you get back to him, you get back to Wayne, you get back to. And the one so much I gotta shout 50 out, bro. Like 50 Cent.
50's nasty.
50 Cent is just you know.
He was my favorite at one point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's still one of my top 5, to be honest, bro.
I respect it. Yeah.
I'll be honest.
That's your era too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying,
18,
bro.
When he came
2001.
Yeah.
Just get rich.
Yeah.
Die trying, bro. Like a lot of that in that era. But what I'm saying is. A lot of people say that. Like, I want that artist to get back to this.
Yeah.
Now, respect exactly what you said, because a lot of people want to hear that grime again. They want to hear that, but they ain't living that no more.
And music changes.
Indeed.
You see what I'm saying?
So even if the music changed, if he not living that lifestyle, you can't expect them to convert.
To come back to that, exactly. So you're right.
Yeah, indeed. So no, I respect what you're saying though, because a lot of people be like, okay, that's the baby, you know, that's the little baby that. You know what I mean, I fuck with, but
this is what I will say. Even if he don't go back to rapping what he was rapping about before, I like to see him rap about, because like I said, I think he's very talented. I like to see him rap about, you know, like, you know, raising his children, you know, businesses and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? I don't mind the artist growing up and, you know, changing. Like, I want that. Like,
right.
What I try to, like, for example, my show was all about positivity, you know what I'm saying, giving people their flowers while they're here.
Right.
And, you know, one key thing about me is, like, I try to tell people the life of a rapper in hip-hop, you know, because, you know, hip-hop's 50 now. So we have people in hip-hop who are in their 60s.
Right.
So I like to see people like Gucci, married, children. I like to see people, you know what I'm saying, LL, healthy, you know what I'm saying, great father, still in church. You know, one of my homeboys actually go to church with LL. Gotcha. So that's why I say
that's
that.
Dope. That's dope.
Yeah, you know, so they like Mount Zion in Queens or somewhere. Let me not be giving away all that bad information. But yeah, so, you know, Reverend Run, you know what I'm saying? They all look great.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Slick Rick,
right,
you know what I'm saying? He's still, you know, that's the thing with hip hop. So, you know, I definitely feel like, and like I said, even Nas, I don't necessarily care for too many of Nas's new music, but I respect the fact that he's still creating.
I'll be honest with you. You stepped into his newer joints yet?
King's Disease 1 was okay. 2 was not a fan. 3 didn't even bother. And then what's the one he just did with Big Boy Magic?
Yeah, the Magic joints is decent.
Yeah, bro. I liked the second one.
Disease. Yeah, King's Disease was fire, but I get it.
But you see, but I appreciate the fact that Nas is still making music. I still appreciate the fact that Snoop Dogg literally is probably the busiest rapper ever.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciate the fact that Snoop is overseas getting bags, whatever, at the Super Bowl halftime show. I respect the fact that Snoop is still releasing music. So, you know, that's what I try to say. Like, hip-hop, I love to see the rappers grow older. Even though Jay-Z might not necessarily make money, cash hoes.
Oh, yeah.
He might not make that no more.
Right.
But at the same time, too, I love to see him still create. And I like seeing him do the story of OJ.
Right. Indeed.
You see?
Yeah, indeed. No, I'm saying growth is inevitable.
Yeah, for a fact.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Now, not saying they can't go back in that bag.
Yeah, because I believe they can.
They definitely get back in that bag, but it's like the life that they live now.
It's different. Like, perspectives change, people change.
Indeed, man. So you said the right thing, though. You would like to hear them rap about what they got going on now, but I'll be honest with you, you probably one in so many that want to hear that because of the influence that everything else has on the genre and the people right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it makes sense, like. We in the ADD era, man. Everybody just they jumping all over the place, but they're not really looking at, you know, what's in front of them too long.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? That's why so many artists are coming and going. You know what I mean? I couldn't tell you, you know, you know, we had the baby, we got Lil Baby, you know what I'm saying? Wayne and J. Cole been out in the front.
Kendrick been in that
Jay,
same, yeah.
all that. But then that's the thing, like, everybody ain't screaming about Kendrick right now.
That's a great. Well, he 2 years off of a Grammy, you know.
That,
and Kendrick's
respectfully,
and Kendrick's a little bit more reclusive.
Right, but
Like,
see, now you making excuses for him. Now I ain't saying.
When you saying screaming, like what you mean? Like
No, like ain't nobody just out here like Kendrick. Like it was a point where everybody was like Kendrick the best, like the best
okay,
rapper
I see
alive
your
right
point.
now. Like people was really moving like that. No shots to Kendrick, but I'm just saying.
Oh, right
like,
now,
like
okay.
right now, ain't nobody screaming Kendrick. But that, I
point.
get it though.
Yeah.
Like he had his time. But that's what I was saying, how fast rappers come in.
Yeah, I mean, Kendrick had a
go
decade.
out. You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
and realistically, I think if Kendrick drop another album, it probably will go #1.
Right, now,
Yeah.
for a second, that's what I'm saying, for a second, and you say he had a decade, but a lot of people don't remember the whole decade. They might know a couple of his songs, they not gonna know,
Yeah.
like, his catalog.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, the radio hits, like, people who really don't dive into music like that, but
Yeah.
know who Kendrick is and respect what he do, they don't know his hits.
Yeah.
But they not gonna go back and say nothing about his album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He's he's the best rapper that I've ever seen, like with my own eyes. So that's why, you know, I'm a little, like I said, my opinion is probably
Right.
definitely very biased.
Now, I'll be out, no, I respect that. Now,
Yeah.
the ill part about it is, that's your era.
Yeah, for a fact.
This is your time frame. This is your era.
The best
So-
rapper I've ever seen with my own eyes,
got you.
when
Yeah.
I was able to
Respectfully.
actually appreciate it and be there for it and experience the
Right.
music is him.
Yeah, it gives
because
you-
he came out with one of the craziest, probably maybe the best storytelling album of all time with,
Right.
you know, Good Kid, Mad City.
Uh-huh.
Then he comes with one of the craziest political albums, political statements of all time with To Pimp a Butterfly. Then he comes with Damn. Damn is a story, a political album, but then he got songs like Humble, which almost got 1 billion views on YouTube and had club bangers on there.
Right.
And you see him borrowing and using other art, like what's the one song? Element, where he uses Juvenile's flow at the end.
See,
Okay, you don't know. Okay, but still.
now, I mean,
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
that's
I'm not
the-
saying I'm not a fan.
Yeah, but you just don't.
But
yeah.
I fool with his music.
Yeah, so that's the thing about Kendrick. Like, I was actually able to see him, and I'm like, wow, like, this music is powerful. It's reaching people. It has substance.
Right.
You know, and then Kendrick, as I said before, just the different styles and everything that he was able to do. That's why, for me personally, when people say my favorite rappers overall, I mean, you know, I like Project Pat and I like Gucci. You know,
Gotcha.
I grew up
Yeah,
on their music.
indeed,
You know,
for sure.
but when it comes to the best and my favorite rapper of my era,
Your era, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kendrick for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Indeed. And that's the beauty of us sitting here. We
Yeah.
from two different time frames, two different eras, because it like the impact that they'll have on me versus the impact on
The
you
album
is totally
used
different.
Two different things, yeah.
You know
'Cause
what I mean?
What Kendrick was rapping about, you've lived. When
Yeah,
he was rapping
indeed.
about it, yeah. Because when Kendrick really started blowing up, not to put your age out there, but
No,
you was a grown, mature man.
Yeah, I was mature man. So it was like, yo,
I was 14.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if it wasn't, that's what I was hearing.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay,
That was a dope
that's
song.
tough.
Yeah, and that was a dope song.
Dive in it like, okay, cool, that's fire. But like I said too, now I couldn't be totally closed-minded to the new music that was coming.
Yeah, because
So-
you still an artist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So not only that though, just like I gotta have a connection too with my children. I gotta, you know what I'm saying? I have to have a connection with my siblings and
And what better way to do that than music?
and the people around me that are younger in generation
Yeah.
than I am, but they're family members. Like we get around, we have a party or something. You feel me? It's like it shouldn't be. Well, what is this mess I'm listening to versus?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you know what I mean. You can get in a groove with it. So I get it. Like the difference in time frames does help. Now I'll be honest with you, because I know too, it was an artist that came out that sounded a lot like Kendrick though.
Really? Who was it?
D Smoke.
Okay.
D Smoke and Kendrick got a very, but they both from the West Coast. So it's cool that, you know what I mean, Kendrick touched on a lot in a lot of his music. But I mean, me personally, I can't go into his catalog. Like D Smoke, another one. Newer artist, all that, but I can't go into his catalog.
I understand.
See, you study the music. You get what I'm saying? Me as an artist, knowing and hearing these different people and all of that, and if I go and sit and dive into something, man, it kind of falls into my level of creativity. Like I like to stay in my own bubble when I'm creating, you know what I'm saying? So when I do step out though, like I say we taking a long ride or you know, I'm on a flight or something like that, okay, cool, you know what I mean? Oh, I could dive into that, but I'm not gonna sit there for days and study, you know what I mean? So it's a difference, man, you know.
Got you. P, I want to jump back to your music because I know you said that you really started taking music serious once you graduated from high school. So when you graduated from high school, it was May of 2021.
Oh, nah, June
2021. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm still in the Georgia. We just graduated college. We graduated May. Okay. So June 2021. So you started taking music seriously at that time. Excuse me, June 2001.
2000. Yeah, you done got bro.
Yeah, my fault. So I talked to a lot of. I've talked to some people, and especially like different figures within the music industry, and they always. 2 or 3 times, there was times where they talked about how 9/11 impacted, you know, their musical journey and their career in music. When you first started taking music, like serious, 9/11 was 3 or 4 months after. Can you talk about if it did at all have any impact?
Yeah, bro. Like, if you really had to look at what was going on at that time, I was 18 years old, man. Like, they was talking about a war, like. There was stuff going on, and to watch the buildings blow up, like, on TV, to me, first of all, I walk in, my mom, like, you know, Jarrell. That's my middle name.
Oh, okay.
So my middle name, Jarrell. She just said that, I'm tell you how my mom calling, Jarrell, come in here, you need this. I'm like, what's going on?
You said Jarrell?
Jarrell,
okay,
like,
Jarrell.
Jarrell, with a J.
I got you.
So, you know, I walk in, I'm like, oh, snap, what movie is this?
Wow.
That's how crazy that was, bro. Like, what movie is this?
Sorry, I hate to laugh, but wow.
Nah, it was really like that. Like, yo, we watching it over and over.
You seeing one of the craziest terrorist attacks in recent American history.
Because we wasn't dealing with nothing like that. That was the first real, like, hit home.
And you thought it was a movie?
Bro, the way it was showing on TV was crazy, yo. We are on the news channel was up, and they're showing the plane
hitting the damn building.
Hitting the building. And I'm like, yo, what movie is that? That's crazy. Wait, that's New York City. Wait, hold on. I look at the caption. Twin Towers.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Plane hits Twin Towers, boom, boom, boom. We see the first one. So when you see the first one, you're like, hold on. Then you see the other one just. The next one hit. I'm like, oh, no. I'm like, Mom, this is really happening right now. She like, yeah. Then they started talking like, okay, well, you know, it might be a war after this, the draft and all that different type of stuff. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to go get on the roof, build me a fort. They ain't coming to get me. I ain't fighting. You know what I mean? I keep it 100. I ain't fighting, bro. Nah. It wasn't even about the war. I got my own reasons behind that, though. And that goes into, you know what I mean, us with this melanin, bro. We get treated different. I'm not fighting for a country that ain't fighting for me, bro. I'll be honest with you.
I respect it.
That just is what it is, bro. I don't care how controversial that sound.
Hey,
I got uncles that served. I got family that served, bro. And I'll be honest with you, though, like, you know, we ain't gonna really dive too crazy into it, but you already know, like, my situation that I broke down to you from time to time, like, yeah.
I understand.
Indeed.
I got you. And like I said, P, your thoughts, views, and opinions are all yours. So we respect it. It's an open platform for you to be able to express that. Man, so P, how did it impact your music career? Because now it's like you said, you fresh out of high school, you like, man, I'm grown now, or you been
I was on my way out the door.
You on your way out the door. You've been moving around like a grown man for a while. But like, so now that this is happening, how did it impact the music? Or did it at all?
I would say it didn't stop nothing.
Okay.
Nah, I was still rapping about it, and I would say I really didn't. Dudes was coming up with bars that was going, like, talking about the Twin Towers. Like, you know what I mean? Boom, something about splitting it. They was just constantly talking about the Twin Towers, you know what I'm saying? Which is crazy. I understand it, but it was like they wasn't really sympathetic about it. And you got to think about it, this Rochester, New York, you know what I'm saying, versus it being New York. I mean, if you didn't have family members that were impacted, like, directly on,
you couldn't really,
you know what I mean, ground zero, it wasn't like, nah, don't get it twisted though. I mean, the feeling was crazy because it's like that, it's that close to home. But then again, at the same time, it just wasn't like, you know what I mean, as shocking as it was for the people who was there, like, you know what I mean, or people who was going to school there, or people who was in that area at that time, you know what I mean? You know, much respect and my condolences to everybody that was lost in that, but ain't no buts about it. That statement, straight like that. You know what I mean? Much love and condolences to the people who lost people during that time. That was very sad. It was traumatic, you feel me? But, I mean, it affected the whole New York State. You know what I mean? But as far as my music, nah. We was still having our own. We was bad. We had a battle. We on ground zero here in Rochester, you feel me? So it was like, that's every day for us. So it kind of didn't really change too much here in the town, though.
Gotcha. Now, Pete, you really started kind of diverging out and kind of going to other places all around. I think you set up the East Coast just with your music.
Yeah.
I know you said like at one point like you had a nickname. Were you Upstate P?
Upstate P. Yeah.
So what year was this? Like 20? Was you like 20? Was you 19?
Nah, I was coming out at, bro. I had a few names leading up to that, but Upstate P came around like I was like 20.
20? Okay. And
So
this is when
it
you
like
was
a
moving
few
around?
years. Yeah.
What was your experience like moving around?
Oh, it was cool. Like, I mean, to be honest with you, I did a little something in North Carolina for a minute. I was in Charlotte. Went to Charlotte, stayed with one of my homies for a little while, man. That shit, it just went bad, man, with him. He's fucking weird, but I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Cool.
Nigga did the bullshit and I wound up coming back home, but it was due to that music. Like, you know what I mean? That music had him feeling some type of way. People embrace me a different way, you know what I'm saying? Like once, you know, performance-wise and being able to flow and do what I do, like, he didn't have that same star quality. He didn't have it, so.
Admiration's turned into jealousy and envy.
That part, and it changed bad, like it got bad, man. So after that, it was like, yo, okay, I'll come back home, you know. And then I went to Tampa for a minute, and I was there, yeah, Tampa, Florida. I stayed out there. Was dating a young lady out there. She originally from here, but I moved out there, and that's where I went after the situation happened in Carolina. So instead of me coming back up north, I went that way, back down towards further south. And I went there, and I had wound up going to an open mic. It was floating around. This is when Facebook was really just getting started. Like, it wasn't like it is now. And put up a flyer. It was like, yeah, you know, Tampa area, Ybor City, come on down. We got to open, you know, a showcase. So I'm like, okay, cool, you know. I go down there, shoot to the showcase. And when I tell you, like, it was just different. Like, everything about it was different, man. It was like I walked in there, it was people in costumes and, you know, they was ready to, like, really perform type shit. Like, it wasn't like no, you know, underground shows, you know, everybody in there hoodied up, you know what I mean? Black T-shirts, anything, you know what I'm saying? But it's grimy, you know what I'm saying? But for them, it was different. Like, young ladies in there with full outfits on, you know what I'm saying? All of them matching outfits, or, you know, dance group behind them. And the one dude killed me, had on, like, the Rocky Balboa, and his song was like Punch Like Rocky, but he had the Rocky Balboa robe on, no shirt, the boxing trunks, the boots, bro. He had the boots on and the boxing gloves, but he had done cut the hand out the boxing gloves so he could hold the mic. Bro, I ain't gonna front. It was turned. He had a head full of dreads. It was turned, but it was like, this how far they go? Yeah, but it was at this joint. Yo, you wild. Look at your face, bro. It was really that real, though. Like,
hold on. You said Rocky.
Rocky.
Boots?
The boots, bro.
Robe, no shirt.
Robe, no shirt.
And cut the top out the boxing glove to hold the mic.
To hold the mic, bro.
Lord.
We're gonna punch like Rocky. Punch like Rocky. Whoa, punch like. I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But Brody, I ain't gonna front. It was turned. But that was their music. It was the South.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like, yeah, he had the whole uniform on. So it was a young lady up there, and I ain't gonna front. Like, she had like Trina Flow. But But
That's a hell of a flow.
But she was nice though, like nice, like she was nice, and it was a competition.
Of course.
It was a guy named H, A-Y-C-H. He had that 106
Wait, excuse
in
me.
Port.
His name was H, and he spelled it A-Y-C-H?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so he was an actual artist. Like,
Okay.
Nah, he was on 106 in Park before.
Nah, I believe that's just
So-
a hell of a way to spell that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but I
like,
guess, you don't just want to be a single letter, so.
Yo, that's crazy.
But continue.
Yeah, like, okay, he was the one putting the showcase together. I guess
Okay.
he had just did 106 recently or whatever. So, you know, I mean, he just opened the doors to the you know.
And this is down in, you said
South.
Tampa, Florida.
Tampa. Ybor City is their party district or whatever. Like, they downtown. So, you know, I go in. I'm literally I got a flash drive, but my flash wouldn't upload. So I'm like, dang, you know, I had a track. So this is my first week, so this is the first round. So they had 2 rounds and then they had the finals. So we go into the first round, cool, everything cool. My joint wouldn't upload. So the first thing came to mind was like, yo, throw on that Mobb Deep Quiet Storm, bro. So you know,
Last line right behind the pages line.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm the Quiet Storm nigga who write lines. Yeah, you heard of them. That right there, son. Like, so mind you, that's one of my favorite beats at the time.
For a fact.
I'm in my zone. And I had a few freestyles, like I was freestyling off the top, but I had a couple writtens as well that kind of mixed in with them. So I rapped for like 5 minutes, bro.
Okay.
Like blacked out.
Damn.
Like that's 5/16s. Like
Yeah. And you just did it off the.
off the top, I'm going hammer. Like, and bro, I ain't gonna front. That was like, that's when I knew too. Like it was a different calling with the music because I had left that place. So even if it was like, if I blew up that day or never blew up at all, like the essence of what I am, the essence of what I put into the music, the essence of what I do, it was all for something.
Yeah.
So like I zoned out, bro. I literally blacked out. It was just me in there. Like that's the way it felt. It was a full house. But by the time I got done, crowd erupt. Yo, dog, where you from? Boo, boo, boo. They going crazy. I'm like, yo. I'm just coming back too. Step down, you know, a couple people walking up, they got cards, like, they did it differently, bro. Like, they got cards and, yo, holla at me here and, you know, boom, boom, boom. So I'm getting, you know, different advances and everything, you know what I'm saying? That week I connected with maybe 3-4 people that I wanted to versus everybody who came up and was like, yo, we could do something together or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I actually connected with like 4 people that week that really, you know, kind of had a little impact on what I was having going on down there. So I had kind of fell off of the wave a little bit after the little Charlotte incident. So I hadn't did music for like 2 months. And then when I jumped back into it, I was ready to go. So I did a track that following week, I did a track that I knew was gonna upload, whatever. Went back in there, tore the house down, did another dope show. Then the next show on the final, something happened and they wound up scratching it or something. It was crazy, but basically that experience down there though, it was fire.
How did it feel? Well, I always said that the South, I feel like, has been a little bit more embracing to outside music. But how did it feel to just be a dude from up north and let alone upstate, you know, which is we an area that don't necessarily get a whole lot of love. How did it feel to go down there and have your music received like that?
You know what's wild?
What's going on?
Because I got asked that question all the time, like, what borough? Where you, like New York, what borough you from? What? I'm like, yo, bro, I'm from
Rochester.
I'm from up north.
Yeah.
Where all the jails at.
Yeah, South Canada.
Indeed,
Yeah,
like
it's
that's
cold.
where I'm at.
Yeah.
And ain't no
3 feet of snow.
ain't no horses and cows up here. So what you thinking is not what you thinking. Go on. And at that time though, we was the murder capital.
Yeah.
Like it was bro, it was crazy. So it's like, go on YouTube or go on the internet and type in Rochester, New York murder rate right now and see what they talking about. But that's the thing too. It wasn't nothing to glorify. You know, it's where I'm from, yeah. But it wasn't nothing to glorify. Cause I'm in they backyard now. I'm in they play on they playground. Like, I'm gonna come down here and act like a tough guy outside of the town, bro. I'm not trying to go to jail in Florida, like. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get locked up or do no dirt down here and have to go back home and, You know, if I make it back home, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody invincible. Like, I accept that. That's real life. The reference of, you know, getting through that whole situation, that's the thing, though. Being a good person and being a dope individual with good energy, I was able to move around down there without no problems, you know what I mean? And then from there, I moved to Atlanta. I locked in with another guy that I thought was supposed to help me out with that, and he tried to take advantage too. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, wow, like,
No.
it'll bring sides of you out that you don't really want to resurface. You know what I'm saying? So I really didn't want to like keep running into those situations.
What years were you in Atlanta?
Man, that was like 2015 maybe.
Oh, okay. So wait a minute. How long were you in Tampa?
I was in Tampa for about a year, almost a year and a half.
And you were in Tampa in 03?
Nah, I was in Carolina.
In 03.
In 03.
And then you went to Tampa 05?
Yeah, like around that time.
And then you went back to Rochester
then
for some
I went
years?
back to Rochester,
And then you moved to Atlanta?
To Atlanta.
In
yeah.
2015?
Yeah.
Okay, bad.
So when I moved to Atlanta, it was years after all of that, but you gotta think about that. Like,
yeah, you in Atlanta, you in like prime club Atlanta.
Yeah.
You in Future,
Yeah.
Thug, Migos Atlanta.
Bro, I didn't
Yeah.
even get to experience that. I wasn't there long enough.
How long was you there
Like
for?
to, man, I was there for like maybe 6 months, close to it.
Man. Yeah.
But nah, the nigga really just showed his true colors, and I wasn't with it. Like, you know,
Yeah, a
what
lot
I
of
mean?
that goes on in the Atlanta music scene. Yes.
And then, nah, it wasn't that. It was one of my homies from up here.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
well, I know Atlanta, like, you know, they got
Yeah,
some,
nah, he switched
some
up.
shady music business going on down
yeah,
there.
but nah, it wasn't the music. It was personal, and he didn't really want to accept the fact that the same dog you left up there is the same dog that's sitting in your living room. Like, don't do that. You know what I mean? Don't play it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, just watching his lifestyle and how he moved and all that. He said he was dealing with a lot and all that. I don't care nothing about that, bro. You're not gonna disrespect me at no point in time in life, bro. You do that, you gotta deal with the consequences that lead behind that. Whether I make you pay for it now, I make you pay for it later. Just saying. But don't quote me on that. But, you know,
I got
but
you.
just being honest, like, you know,
Yeah.
it just was a bad time for him. We got into it. I mean, I physically had to handle him. Like, it was wild. But you know, I came back home after that, and I really just
Like 2016?
around that time, yeah. I don't even, bro. I'll be honest with you. Like, some of this stuff, bro, I tried to erase out of my head, man. I've been through a lot, yo, when it came to those type of situations. You know what I mean? So I would say, you know, after it was all said and done, I realized, you know what I mean, the path I was supposed to be on. You know what I mean? God was doing something different.
Yeah.
God had a different plan for me. And every time I tried to lean on somebody, like a human being, for anything, it ain't go right. Like, he basically put that right in front of me, like, yo, I got a plan for you, but you gotta stick to the plan. So that's what's been going on. So, like, even with the music and all that, you know what I mean? If you notice, I ain't got no features on none of that.
Nothing.
Yeah, all that's just me. But it's not that I don't want to do features, but I'm gonna make sure when I'm in a position to do features, it's gonna be official features with official people. Like, I don't want to do nothing with nobody that's on no fraudulent business. And even if I keep doing music and it never gets where it's supposed to go, I'm still okay with that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, would you get into, you know, the fact of me being a 40-year-old man, I'm living for other things too, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, the music is definitely gonna always be there.
It's bigger than music.
Yeah, way bigger than music, man. Right now it's more about, like I said, the love and investing in the people around me who can grow and change and all of that, you know what I mean? You know, our relationship as it's growing, every day that I speak with you, every day I talk with you, or every day that we, you know what I mean, in that gym, the way it be going,
Yeah.
it's for the betterment of both of us, you feel me?
For a fact.
But there was a time, I've never been a negative person. I never hate on nobody. I've never taken any that. Like, bro, I'll be honest. Like
I said, the way me and you
100%.
met, you just pulled up on, you introduced yourself to me and we talked for a minute. And then the following day, you just came up to me. I was on the leg extension. You was like, yo, and you know,
Indeed.
you've always
Yeah.
been very approachable.
Yeah, so it's like,
You always been very kind, and it's crazy to hear you say that because a lot of people go through some of the things that you done been through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they let it change them.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
It was impossible to change. The essence of me have always been good. You know what I mean? It's just the situations that I was put in that brought out darker sides of me. But yeah, I've never been.
Yeah, you come from a very loving household.
Indeed,
You know what I'm saying?
for sure.
Like sometimes I feel like we judge books by their cover. So if they see you with tattoos and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying, jewelry, people might perceive you one way. But you, like I said, you come from a college-educated household. You come from a loving Christian household.
Yeah,
You know, and
for sure.
definitely, I heard a quote the other day. If you bring the child up in a consistent and proper manner, the child is less likely to stray away from it as the child grows.
Indeed.
And I feel like that, you know, shout out to like your family and everybody who, everybody who invested into you, because it definitely still correlates as time went on.
Yeah, indeed. Like I said, the darker sides of me that ever had to come out were provoked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I ain't just do this to you because I'm a bad person. Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, it was pieces of me that I ain't even know I had in there, bro. Like, I ain't never been no slouch though. Like, never been no slouch or pushover or nothing like that. But I'll be honest with you, it's just like a lot of the stuff that I was introduced to or situations I was put in. Survival, man. And that's one thing that I mean we could talk about as well. Just like people living in survival mode right now. Like, that's the new wave. Like, everybody in survival mode. Like, the only way I'm gonna survive is if it's like dog eat dog type stuff. You know what I'm saying? I would never want to give that presence or that message to nobody. Like, yo, I'll give you the shirt off my back, long as you do right by me.
For a fact.
You feel me? Because respect come first. That with me, respect come first.
You respect men, not money.
That part. You say that all the time. You know what I mean? But the respect
I got that from
come first.
Kevin Gates.
For sure.
Respect men, not money. Well, my dad too, but I heard him say it like that. Respect men, not money.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Because the money gonna come behind you respecting the man. If that's the type of situation it is. But that's it, man. And if you look at that even in more depth though, you know what I mean? We say money is a form of currency, but also riches and all of that. But at the end of the day, that's the goal. The gold is the respect. The gold is the love. The gold is the things that you put behind, you know, who you are and what you are. That goes back to the statement. You put a piece of shit in Gucci.
That's still a piece of shit.
It's still a piece of shit. So you gotta understand, if you're not a good person, bro, what like who respects that?
For a fact.
You know what I mean? First thing they're gonna do is disrespect you on your interests. Man, that nigga's a piece of shit. I don't think that nigga, I'd fuck him, bro. You know what I mean? That's how people talk about people like that. And they might not say it loud enough for you to hear it.
But they saying it.
But they saying it.
And they feel it.
Yeah,
They feel that
indeed.
way. Yeah.
But if you got 10 people that's walking around like, yo, nah, bro. Like, nah, that's a good dude. Yo, no, he good people. Like, you know what I'm saying? I would rather have that than anything, you know what I'm saying?
For a fact.
So I look at it like I'm just setting examples for my family, my friends, you know what I mean? The few that I do have. My younger brothers, you know what I mean? Just leading by example, you know what I mean? My sons, my daughters, like, just making sure, you know, those situations turn out well, you know what I'm saying? They might not always be good in the beginning, but as long as they could look at it and be like my dad or, you know, my brother or, you know, my uncle, like my nephews and my nieces, and they look and be like, yo, my uncle was a cool dude, man. Everything about it, you know what I'm saying? Instead of it being like, man, I don't fool with. Yeah, think about that, man. I'd rather that. To me, that's riches.
And that's your legacy.
Indeed, for sure. That's the most valuable thing to me right now in my life, man. That love and that reciprocation of what I put out, you feel me?
Yeah.
So that's it, man. Like, yeah. So the music thing.
But about your music, I wanted to ask you
that.
that. Sorry to cut you off. When I listen to Dirty Caviar, #1 phenomenal title.
Indeed, for sure.
But when I listen to Dirty Caviar, a lot of gems, a lot of jewels.
Indeed.
What I said before, grown man rap.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't no little boy.
Yeah,
Like, if you
indeed.
ain't really been through nothing, or if you're not ready for it, you won't understand it.
Right.
You know, but it's
For
bars
sure.
there too.
Yes.
One thing I meant to compliment you on this earlier. You have a unique ability to keep up with the times and what's going on currently in music.
Indeed.
Like to me, you're a lyricist.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? To me, you're a lyricist.
Mm-hmm.
And most lyricists usually, like I said, they stick to the 16 hook 16.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily do that.
Nah.
You did 6 songs in 15 minutes.
Indeed.
And it was straightforward to the point.
Right.
Stylistic. It was innovative, and like I said, it was dope.
That's super dope.
And
bro.
one thing I wanted to ask you is just with you, as you said before, you don't care about the money. You cool on music, like you do it because you love it.
Right.
Does that give you a sense of like freedom as far as what you create? Because you make very positive, very motivating, and very real, honestly beautiful music.
Yes.
So is the fact that you just like, you know what, I'm doing this because I love it, like just being a grown, mature man, has that kind of changed the music that you make, or have you always been this way? Like, do you feel like you have more freedom now that you're at, not that you weren't at peace before, but that you're truly at peace with what you've done?
Okay, so
I know it's a lot of questions.
No, indeed. So I'm gonna put it all. I'm gonna sum it up for you, which is wild, because it's like everything that I've been through, everything that I dealt with is in the music, man. Like, if you wanted to know me, you would know me through my music, and I've never been like an extracurricular fabricator, like.
Ever?
Nah, I couldn't do it. Like, I couldn't do it. It's not true to me.
Yeah, because you live real life.
Exactly, for sure. So it wasn't true to me. It wasn't like, I'm not gonna lie to you now, so why would I lie in my music?
Fair.
I'm very transparent all the time. So it's like anybody that need to know a story, bro, anybody that knows me will tell you, like, nah, he gonna say it how it is.
Yeah.
He sharp though, he rigid. Like, he gonna cut you in some way, shape, or form. If you cross him, or if he need to say something, he's gonna say it. Bro, I've been getting reprimanded about that my whole life. I'm just ain't holding no punches, bro. So when I started actually putting it into my music, to me, that was me expressing myself and being able to do it and not giving a fuck who was listening. Because the people who want to hear it, they gonna listen.
For a fact. It's in my rotation.
Indeed. So it's like people who really want to see what it's about, and it's relative music. You know what I'm saying? And when you say grown man music, you know, it's like, if you could listen to it and be like, yo, that's giving me a mature vibe, but maybe I could use this jewel he just dropped in my everyday life, that's fire.
For a fact.
Versus it being like, you rapping about how many hoes you fucking in, the bitch is this shit, another nigga. First of all, your bitch ain't your bitch if another nigga fucking on her, first of all. So like all this extracurricular stuff they be, oh, yo bitch, and like, first of all, that ain't my bitch. If she fuck you, that ain't even our bitch. She your bitch now. But she ain't even your bitch. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
So we ain't even about to do all that. To me, that's not reality for me. You feel me? And it's like, dudes wake up and get in their living room and rap about things that they wish they could do, but then even if it's presented to them, they can't handle it. Everybody that say they rich ain't rich. Everybody that say they broke ain't broke.
And everybody who say they street ain't street.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody that say they bout that life ain't bout that life. When you really put in a position where you gotta do that, bro, that survival mode, some of them ain't built for it, man.
For a fact.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't that. It was done personally to pull your card. But if somebody personally, like, you try and come, you can try it. Y'all see, try it. That's my thing. Because you're gonna get everything you're looking for.
And then some.
Exactly.
Plus tax.
Versus somebody that you could present that same situation to, and they gonna be trying to reason and get out of it, and nah, it's just music. It ain't just music for me, man. It's really my life on that wax, bro. Like, on them tracks, that's my life. That's where I'm at with it. And I'll be honest with you, it might not sound like much to most, but it mean the world to me. And I can leave it like, that's like the Book of Eli, bro. I'll be honest with you. When my kids get older, or my kids get to a point where they can understand it, they'll know where their dad was at that time. You feel me? So that's why I do the music, man. Like, I'm leaving a journal on wax in the music, man. So yeah, that's it, man.
And it's, like I said, it's dope music. For
I
a fact.
appreciate it. Like
Yeah.
dirty caviar though, like even the name
Yeah.
alone.
Remember
like,
when I said I was like dirty? I was like, I like that.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. Like
Yeah.
when you think about
It's an oxymoron.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we think about the rich people
it's a
and
dichotomy.
all that. Yeah, they have that. They can eat caviar all day. They could pay for that, but it's a lot of dirt behind that money.
That money.
Indeed, you know what I mean. And then it's like the people on the bottom that can't even. You know what I mean? You probably won't ever eat caviar. You know what I mean? The kind of caviar they eat. You know what I mean? They got caviar with gold flakes in it. Like, you know what I'm
Gold is
saying?
actually good for you.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like they got, but it's two, 3 bands.
Yeah. Ooh-wee.
For a small container.
I'm good on that.
Yeah. So you gotta think about it. But it's like, yo, you know, when people go through those modes, you know, it's like you said, it's an oxymoron. So it's like I'm rich within my livelihood. It don't matter what container it come in. It don't matter what you put in it. And all the dirt and grime and everything that is around it still don't take away from my riches. What I tell you, walk in your royalty. Like, you know what I mean? Us as kings, you know what I mean? Young king, king as in growth. Like when you start walking into those, you know, those realms, those rooms, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no reason for you to dumb yours down because somebody else, you know what I mean? You gotta make that make sense, man.
Yeah,
Why
I'm not
I
about
gotta
to stop
dumb-
being who I'm about to be, especially if I'm coming in humble and respectful just because of the way you feel.
Exactly.
To not hurt your feelings.
Or who somebody told you are.
Yeah. Who do you, yeah. Like, that's why I tell people, like, I know what I look at when I look in the mirror.
Indeed.
Yeah, I live in my
Sure.
truth.
That's it. You know what I mean? So when you look at those situations, it's like all of that is in the music, man. That's what I say. So, I mean, I could tell people to go listen all day. You could tell them to go listen all day, but if they don't go type that in,
So, no.
it's on them. You know?
Gotcha. Pete, just to wrap things up,
Yes, sir.
I always, whenever I have a chance to speak to people who are very skilled or knowledgeable in something, I always like to give them a platform to be able to express it. The way we got brought together was just by going to the same gym.
Yes, sir.
You know, and you know, I remember, I never forget it. I seen you get up on that pull-up bar and just. And, you know, just for those who don't know, pull-ups are a true sign of strength.
Yes, sir.
The true test of strength. You know what I'm saying?
That's that inner strength.
You can go find somebody who can go put up 225 on bench, but they might struggle to do a pull-up or two.
Yes,
so
sir.
just for the listeners. But
Indeed.
I never forget it. And then, you know, like I said, I seen you up on that pull-up bar. I'm like, he different.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the way you jumped up there and got up on it, like I said, and just how you go from
movements,
doing the
what
different movements and everything. Can you talk about the gym? Why you love it, why everybody should do something in order to overall better their health, and what the gym has taught you about life?
Okay.
I know it's a little bit of a loaded question, so we can break that down at a
Indeed.
time. Yeah.
So, I mean, I fell in love with the gym.
Yeah.
My love was like, you know, life, trials, tribulations, you know what I mean? A lot of different things happened along the way. And I can't say I had to find something else to love on. You know what I mean? Like, I lost a lot, you know what I mean? You know, family issues, you know what I mean? All that type of stuff. And in between time, in the meantime, it's a test of your sanity. It's a test on your sanity. Like, what are you gonna do with all this idle time that you have? You know what I mean? A little bit in depth with that, like, you know, just, you know, situations with my kids' mothers and the law enforcement. I got a situation with that going on, and you know, losing a lot of the things that I worked very hard to gain.
Yeah.
But one thing I know is, you know, investing in yourself though, that's like forever. You feel me? So I had to really get to a mindset where I had to utilize that and also the knowledge that I accumulate to help influence and push other individuals who want to get to the, you know, a higher plateau, or not a plateau, but a higher platform or a higher place in their life, without like losing their way. You know what I'm saying? So if I had the knowledge that showed that everything I do in life is based off experience, you feel me? So if I'm not putting the work in, I can't give it to you, but it's based off of the image that I'm giving them. When people look at me, they ask questions. Yo, bro, your arms mad big. Like, what you do to do that? Yo, your chest, first thing I notice, or your traps, or, you know, they ask questions. So when they ask questions, one thing that I was always taught, whether it's money, fortunes, gold, all that different stuff. You can't take it with you. So, like I said, the jewels and the money and the riches, the stuff that people use as material things, everything with me is more spiritual and, you know, information and things that I can give to other people. So I always say I can't take it with me, so I would rather
give it to other people.
Give it to other people. Yeah, so the gym has been my therapy. The gym has got my mind out of a lot of binds, man. Like when the dark thoughts get to creeping, yeah, you got to put them to sleep early, so to let that frustration out. You know, even if it's just something that might be hindering me that day. I might have woke up a certain way, or, you know what I'm saying, like emotional. And one thing that I want to speak on too before that, but just like the mental health, and especially when it comes to us men, you know, that's been one thing as far as good, really good for me with that part. But I know too, connecting with other people such as myself, you know what I'm saying, or whoever, you know what I'm saying, any other life form that revolves in the gym, whether it's male or female. You know what I'm saying? If I could give them something that can help them, by all means, I'm gonna give them that, you know, that little bit of information. But the gym has helped me tremendously, and just for the people who are either planning on getting into that realm or actually in that realm, yo, love on yourself. Consistency is key, and utilize that gym as a place for you to go ahead and get your health together mentally and physically. Like, you know, a lot of it is in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying, what you putting in your body. But long as you stay active, whether it's a mile a day, which they say a mile a day keep the doc away, whether it's 10 push-ups a day to 20 push-ups to 50 push-ups to 100 push-ups, start putting that work in and you're gonna see results, man. It's just like, yo, when you could get to a point where you could zone out and just do that for a minute, take a brief moment for yourself, you know what I mean? That's what I want to tell everybody, like, just take a brief moment. That 30, 45 minutes you spend scrolling on your phone, you can spend 30, 40 minutes doing a small workout or a walk or a jog or, you know, just enjoying some air, some fresh air. Get out the house, man. Like, those things right there, because once you start, like they say, I believe it's 21 days form a habit.
Yeah.
So just do it for 21 days and watch yourself. It's gonna be feeling like you're cheating on your spouse. You're cheating on your girl or you're cheating on something after you do it in repetition. So that's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, where I'm at with it, man. The gym is the best place to be, especially right now, because ain't nothing going on outside. Might as well go ahead and put that work in.
Nah, for a fact, P. Nah, I appreciate that, P. Thank you, because, you know, another piece of advice I try to give people, don't be too proud to ask.
Indeed,
like, you know, and then, you know, you got to check your ego at the door. Like, I remember seeing you, I'm like, man, I was like, I wonder if I should, I was like, I know he could teach me some things. I was like, I wonder if I should ask him if I can come get some work. And I'm like, man. Then I looked over there, I'm like, man, this dude squat 315 for reps, or probably more. You know, this dude bench 360 pounds for reps. I'm like, man, all I'm gonna do is ask. I mean, the only thing he could do is either work with me a little bit, work with me where I'm at, or, you know, we can get on two separate whatevers. We can add, take weight off, even though if I work out with you, we putting plates. Right. But, you know, I just told myself, like, you know what, like, you know, don't be too proud. Right. You know, I was like, don't be too proud, and, you know, don't you know, don't think that, don't be too proud, and, you know, just ask. And you know what I'm saying? I got to lock it in with you, and, you know, the little bit of work I thought I was doing, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, like, working out with you, I was like, man, this is the way, you know, you really gonna get results. Indeed, and, you know, I went from doing banded pull-ups for, you know, a session or two to, you know, even though I still got to kind of do a good job at keeping my legs situated, I'm pretty much pulling majority of my weight, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, you're doing a great job now, man. You came a long way, like, in a short amount of time, like I said, a couple of weeks. Yeah. And I mean, it's been, almost 3 weeks now, maybe?
Yeah, if that.
Yeah. So, like, that first week, you struggled a little bit, but then that next week, you did a little better. And this week, though, you surprised me today, man.
Definitely.
So, I definitely, nah, for real, my man surprised me, man. He hit a nice little number on the bench. Definitely, what was that, 245?
245
245, that's it, boy, that right there. But I keep it, you know, I keep putting that to you. You're stronger than you think.
I think, and, you know, you've taught me the power of words.
Exactly.
So, you know, even like the one day, We was on the push-up, what's the name? Even though I was struggling, I stood up after I got through, after I pushed, did my last little, yo, P, I'm here.
Indeed.
You know,
sure.
and then when I go into the gym, P, I'm gonna try it.
Indeed.
And I know, P, I'm gonna try it.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just going into it with confidence. And as you said before, it's a mental thing.
Right, and it's crazy though, because for the watcher, you know, the listeners and the watchers though, that's my biggest thing is really just looking at it like, hey yo, it's wild. It's wild that when you look at the situation of how you came in and everything, and people be thinking like, yo, he gonna kill me. He gonna do this, he gonna do that. And nah, bro. But my biggest thing is making sure you can do what you can do when you doing it. And that's that.
And we'll
know
go
what I'm
from
saying?
there.
For sure.
Gotcha. Well, P, look, as always, I really appreciate having you being able to come on and come have a conversation on I Got More to Say.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for being here. Is there anything you want to tell the listeners? You want to look into the camera, any way they can follow you on some socials, any thing you're trying to promote, any brands, business thing, anything?
Well, basically, you know, I mean, you guys can find me on all major platforms as far as the music go at under King Persona. Actually, you can type in King Persona also on YouTube. But right now, my socials are down. I've been under the radar.
Okay.
So I'm pretty much rogue right now. But you can find me on those platforms. If you reach out, cool, I'll definitely, you know what I mean, like, subscribe, do what you do. I will be back up and running soon, but I've been on a spiritual journey, so it's been quite crazy, but you know what I'm saying? So November 19th, around that time, it'll be 1 year of pure sobriety and not staying out the way, you know what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
Once all that is done and over with, then I'll start thinking about delving back in. But for the most part, not right now. But YouTube and all major music platforms, so Apple Music, Spotify, you know what I mean? There's a few other ones too, iTunes.
Okay. Are you on Amazon too?
Amazon,
Okay.
Amazon Music, anywhere. Literally type in King Persona, music, any type of, you know what I mean? Any type of, pretty much if you Google King Persona, it should come up.
It's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, P, as I said before, I appreciate you for being here. Also, too, P, you a barber. You got any contact?
Oh yeah, I was finna say. Right now, you know what I'm saying, which is on Building Bonds Barbershop. But for the most part, yeah, I've been cutting hair, like I said, for 22 years. You can get in touch with me, Paris the Barber, on the Cut app, THECUT. You go on there, you know what I mean, you can book straight out, you know what I mean, just make sure you announce who you are, let me know where you saw me at, and we can go from there, pretty much.
Gotcha. Make sure y'all tap in with P. As y'all can see, you know what I'm saying?
Paris the Barber, for
Skill
sure.
hands. Well, look, this is Paris, also known as King Persona. I'm Kato, and as always, I got more to say.